Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. It's 26th of August, and it's a little on the nippy side. I've got 49 degrees according to our signature card, but Terry, good morning, Terry Chamberlain.
Good morning. I have 52.
That's what I had too. But I don't want to, be in controversy and have to refute the temperature on our signature card. Let's put it up, see what it says. Oh, it now says 50. So it's catching up. So we'll change. Our sports guy is not here yet, and I don't think he's saying, "Oh, here he comes." God bless you there. You're doing pretty good, Mike Olson. Pull up a chair and sit on the floor.
If doors are open, you okay with that? His doors are open.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
To my car?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you. Go ahead and we'll announce it. Here's the problem with my car. Something's wrong with the driver's side of the vehicle, okay? And if I accidentally lock it, I have to go over to the passenger side and unlock the car because the driver's side will not unlock. I can't, I can click the fob and kick it and swear at it and so forth. It will not. But if I go in on the passenger side, now keep in mind, I'm 91 and climbing over years ago.
We had bench seats. You
yeah,
could just slide.
You could slide right. But now they put that
The console's
ding
there.
dang, whatever you want to call it, because we now have two glove compartments. We
Yes.
have the one on the passenger side, and then you have the dividing one. Well, when you're 91, trying to climb over that thing in the middle is like rock climbing at Mount Pluvius.
Listen, it's not easy when you're 65 either. One time I had in the Z. Now, keep in mind, the Z's even smaller than what your car is, more compact, I guess is what I want to say. And somebody had parked so close to me on my driver's side, I could not get the door open.
You couldn't get it, so you had to go around.
I had to go around and climb over, and
That had to be funny.
oh yeah, because it's a stick shift, and it was.
Somebody didn't have a camera right there.
I had
Yeah.
to do that in my garage so nobody could see what was going on. I took a lunch break
Yes,
when I
did.
got to the console. I don't know. I watch Andy Griffith a lot, okay? And I don't know if you notice the technique in a lot of movies, not just Andy Griffith, but for camera angles, they always have the passenger slide over to the driver's side to get out of the car, if you'll notice. They never or rarely does Barney get out unless he's driving the car. At any rate, the point is, I asked somebody who knows about cars, and they said it'll cost you a fortune for them to open that driver's side door to correct whatever is malfunctioning. And so I have to remember, and what happened to me is I accidentally pushed down on the lock as I got out of the car and closed the door. At any rate, I've had to do it twice. Once, by the way, in the parking lot here, and I was hoping nobody would say, "What's he doing anyway in that car?" Well, hey, good morning, Mike. How are we getting along?
Well, we're a little slower than usual, but we're doing
Thank
all
you.
right. We're doing okay. Yeah,
You have a scheduled date for the surgery?
Yeah, September 22nd, which is a Monday. But the biggest thing I'm dealing with right now is anything I've ever had done, endarterectomy of my, one carotid artery, I do have
all the different procedures.
I have to go all those
You have to do it all over.
Basically, I've had 2 ultrasounds now, one on the liver and one on the, I don't know what.
Well, whatever
Whatever it is, but I've had probably 5 doctor's appointments in the last 2 weeks.
Well, what it says to you is we're very careful before we put somebody under for
Right.
surgery.
That's what it is.
They want to make sure that they have the right anesthesia.
And nothing just kind of comes up and hits them in the face.
Exactly.
Right? No, in fact, In fact, like my wife said, what's kind of good is that everything is being checked. The carotid
We're
that
doing
was
everything
down a while
right,
back
right.
is still
Right.
looks very good.
Yeah.
The other side, which was okay, was getting a little, is still borderline, but okay, you know, and the liver.
The liver?
Liver.
Are you talking about the one your wife makes Saturday night, or?
No, I don't eat
No,
liver.
okay. I don't either.
The liver is the one that's associated usually with alcohol, right?
Usually.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
Right, I got through.
Cirrhosis of the liver.
Right, that's what I have. And when the doctor
You
told
don't-
me,
you
I
don't
said,
have that.
"Guy, you're looking at the one guy that's never bought a beer for
Yeah.
himself in his life."
Yes.
Now, some people might say, "Well, I saw you with a beer one time." No, somebody bought the beer for me. I don't think I've never bought a beer for myself, and I don't drink at all.
And they don't,
And I'm not
you
trying
don't
to
have
be
that many
pontifical.
people buying you drinks either.
No.
I didn't think so. You're not a
But what
drinker.
I'm saying is, if somebody, so sometimes even if I was in an establishment and somebody did buy a form,
Yes.
you know, I might. By the time I left, I think there was more in it than when I left. You know, but and I'm not trying to be pontifical because, you know, there's certain things that we can get in trouble with. Well, you know, I'm
Drinking
okay.
is not one of
Drinking's
those.
not. Let's
Yeah.
just stop there.
Yeah.
Drinking's not one.
We won't go to the other
Won't go to
two.
the other two.
Well, the newest thing that they're talking about, and that was this fatty liver.
That, no,
Yeah,
that's
you
what, that's
seen
what
the
they call
commercials?
it.
Yeah.
It's a fatty liver, it's a non-alcoholic liver.
Yeah.
But it still give you this.
I haven't heard
yeah.
that term
Yeah,
before.
no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it's called a
Fatty liver?
And my
I've heard of cirrhosis, but never fatty liver.
fatty liver is what they call this, right?
Yeah, that's what they.
I think that's to kind of protect some. Everybody got a liver damage, yeah. Well, I know that happens. You know.
Well, you're getting around pretty good. You're using the cane until then.
Cane is
It's a
good.
little safety
Well, be honest,
feature.
some days I'm going to get the right one done first. But they only do, most surgeons, including mine, is only going to do one at a time.
Yeah, there was a time when they did both, and I
both.
think
Pretty
that
much-
they felt
I
that
think they
was
learned that was never a
yeah,
good
Well, it's
thing.
not a
harder,
good
I think, on the
idea.
rehab too, you know, that you'd like to have one.
You
Well,
need
yeah.
you need to have one leg, healthy
One's
leg to
better-
stand
Just
on.
stand on,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, I can't move. You know.
Yeah.
But no, it's
Do you think playing hockey had a lot to do with the
knee.
the deterioration of your
I
joints?
just think even the baseball, and then I think the third thing was being on hard floors all the time. Those are hard floors, and whether you're at Peoria High School or at Richwoods, and I wasn't the type to sit at my desk all the time. I think there was just a lot of.
I would venture to say hockey had something. I'll tell you what, standing on two blades of shoes has to have
know, I
stress
did a lot of
on
it,
your
I know that.
joints.
And
The thing
once
that
again,
bothered me,
I'm not trying to be, but I actually got thinking about a week ago. Once I entered Michigan State, I had 13 seasons in a row that I was involved in something. In other words, I would have I'd have summer baseball, then I would have fall baseball in Michigan State. Then when that was over, I'd have hockey for
yeah,
5
hockey
months.
season.
And then I'm back to spring baseball, then back to summer baseball, and then we did it again for 3 more years. 13 years of 13 seasons of.
But
of
in
time.
baseball, it's not a contact sport
No,
like
no,
hockey is.
no.
So you were on those narrow blades, and people were hitting you, and you were hitting
5
others.
months, and I
Yeah.
will tell you, at the college level, you,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
just don't go for 5 minutes and work out. Your practice time, we actually practiced for an hour and a half fundamentals. Then they cleaned the ice, because we wore it out so much, like they usually do between periods of a hockey
Sure.
game, which is about the same that we did with that. Then we actually did the team stuff.
Did you ever get injured and lay off a game or two in hockey?
Yeah, I did it with the pure
Well,
blades. I got
obviously,
broken jaw.
it didn't have that broken jaw. That's a different joint, and you've
I've never-
recovered quite well, thank you.
I've never, too much. But I've never had any knee operations, or I think I had a couple, bumps and bruises.
Yeah, but never
never
ACL
cartilage
or
or ACL
something
or
like
that,
that.
right, that's-
Well, I know that you've been struggling and you're getting around, and this is a procedure
It needs to be
that'll
done.
restore your youth
It needs to
once
be done.
again.
I want-
Well, let's get into the news and bring you up to date. The most comprehensive news in Peoria Radio. More news, more often. start with a check of the weather thanks to Bob Manning, Senior Vice President, Financial Advisor. Bob is with the Grandview Capital Group at Morgan Stanley in Peoria. For all your investment needs, give Bob a call. You can reach him at 309-671-4653, Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. Well, the weather forecast's pretty brief because it's consistent, sunny and pleasant again today. High of 75, overnight low 53. Tomorrow will be sunny and a little warmer, up to 80. Thursday, sunshine, 82. Friday and Saturday, back to mild 77, 78 degrees Friday and Saturday. And right now, our temperature at 50 degrees. And now let's have the news brought to you by our friends at Spoon River Home Health. Since 1993, providing home health care by caregivers who care. Locally owned and operated, Spoon River Home Health. Their folks are available 24/7, and their number, 309-245-0723. Terry?
Too often, protests and demonstrators are angry and even threatening. That wasn't what happened early yesterday morning in front of Manual High School. A large crowd of men warmly welcomed students to show their support after 2 shootings last week. That included the wounding of a 15-year-old who sustained an injury from a bullet.
The response was amazingly large and positive, with men attending from all walks of life. It was the idea of Police Chief Eric Echeverria. He told the crowd the importance of men as role models. He said children need men not just today, but every day. Among those present for the event was Robert Johnson. He's president of the Peoria Park District Board of Trustees. Appearing on our program yesterday, Johnson lauded attendees for their support.
I'm Robert Johnson. I just left Manual High School.
Tell us what went on.
How you doing? It was a large crowd there.
Great.
City managers, chief of police, school board members, city officials, and a lot of kids getting off the buses. It was on both sides of the river. It was a large gathering.
Good.
All walks of life was here. Well, they was getting off the bus. They were smiling. Some of them had their little heads down. They was all tickled to death. They were shaking hands with everybody on both lines of the sidewalk. It was a very happy occasion. Veterans were there. Military people were there. Also, police, firemen, they were there. Parents, a lot of men. They were saying they wanted to do it more often, and they want to come back after school is out and continue it. But it was a great response. I was really pleased to see.
Great.
Because the Park District is definitely interested in making sure that everybody is, well behaved and everything as well.
In other Peoria news, 2 men were taken by car to a local hospital after they were gunned down Sunday in the area of the 2700 block of West Treewind Avenue on the city's far south side. Police say the victims, one who's in critical condition, are ages 23 and 31. Officers quickly on the scene captured and arrested 34-year-old Elijah Irby and a 17-year-old. Both faced numerous gun charges.
In national news, President Trump, like most Americans, is tired of protesters burning the United States flag. He signed an executive order directing the Attorney General to prosecute anyone violating laws involving desecration of the country's flag. If found guilty, the person would spend 1 year in jail. Maybe at hard labor.
Oh, remember the chain gangs? They should bring those back.
Remember that song?
Yep.
Working on the
Chain
Who
gang?
recorded that? Was it Lou Rawls? No.
No, it wasn't Lou
Lou
Rawls.
We'll look it up.
It escapes me at the moment. Trump is threatening to assign National Guard units to protect the people of Chicago. That has Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker in a panic mode. I would say bent out of shape.
Hey, that's good, yeah, in the shape of a pretzel.
Trump is praising the work of police and military units in Washington, D.C. Crime is down in the capital city, especially fatal shootings. Federal officials say residents of the city have been quietly thanking them for bringing in the military, while politicians criticize the action on television.
Out of control wildfires in the state of Oregon have officials worried. More than 22,000 acres have been torched. Only 5% of the fires have been so far contained. Thousands of families have been forced to evacuate.
The city of Pekin is preparing to celebrate its annual Marigold Festival. The event is scheduled from September 3rd to Sunday, September 7th at Mineral Springs Park. One of the highlights is the hunt for the Marigold Medallion and the $1,500 prize. The first clue was released yesterday. Another highlight is the Taste of Pekin, set for Wednesday, September 3rd from 5 to 8 p.m. The big parade is Saturday, beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning.
At the Peoria School District Board meeting last night, members approved finally hiring a search firm to select a replacement for the retiring superintendent, Dr. Sharon Karat. By a vote, listen to this, 4-3. The board selected Hart International Educational Services out of Texas. The issue became controversial because of an alleged connection with the search firm and board member Martha Ross. Ross did not recuse herself and apparently cast the deciding vote. I did not learn, I don't know whether or not either one of you, what that alleged connection was. And the president of the board, Gregory Wilson, is calling for the purchase of metal detectors. I thought we had them in some schools.
We do, as far as I know, we do at the high, as far as I know, there's metal detectors, the ones you walk through like at the airport and that, at the high schools, as far as I know.
That's what I thought. But
Or they have been over the years, they've used them at certain times.
Well, that was the key phrase, some schools. I guess
I
they wanted
think
to
that's
get
the
them
key,
at
all schools.
all schools.
Yeah, I think
And
they finally
Wilson was
figured out-
concerned with the shootings near Manual High School.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can put metal detectors in the neighborhood, but that might not be a bad idea, since so many of our young kids are walking around with 45s and 38 specials. When I was their age, I was carrying a water pistol, and I got in trouble for that. Anyway, more news now from our friends at WCBU.
From the WCBU newsroom, I'm June Delahunty. An expert on technology and the courts says AI holds great promise for improving the quality of legal work and closing the access to justice gap. Daniel Lina Jr. from Northwestern University acknowledged problems too, like a 4th District Appellate Court case in which a lawyer used AI to write a brief filled with non-existent cases.
Of course, we need to be measuring these hallucinations and the negatives, but the other side of the ledger is understanding the positive benefits that these tools are bringing across this whole ecosystem for lawyers, judges, and especially self-represented litigants.
Lina says AI could help guide these self-represented litigants who don't have the constitutional right to an attorney during civil proceedings. An original printing of the Emancipation Proclamation is coming to the Peoria Riverfront Museum next year as part of an exhibit featuring major historical documents. Abraham Lincoln's 1863 Executive Order freeing slaves joins copies of the Declaration of Independence and Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech in the America 250 exhibition. The collection, titled The Promise of Liberty, is guest curated by noted historian and filmmaker Ken Burns. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says the state won't be able to make up for the Trump administration's cuts to the university research grants. At a recent bill signing in Champaign, Pritzker said Illinois will do everything it can to help preserve higher education in the state, but the state can only do so much.
I want to be honest, there is no chance that the state of Illinois can fill the holes that the Trump administration has created for higher education.
A split Supreme Court decided last week that the National Institute of Health can, for now, cancel almost 2,000 research grants related to heart disease, Alzheimer's, and other health topics. Congresswoman and U.S. Senate candidate Robin Kelly says Democrats need to do more to push back against the Republican policy agenda. Kelly tells the 21st show that, if elected, she would support eliminating the filibuster that requires at least 60 votes to pass most policy bills in the Senate. She also expressed support for congressional redistricting in Democratic states in response to new maps creating more Republican-leaning districts in Texas.
I believe in fair maps, but we got to fight fire with fire.
I'm June Delahunty.
All right, thank you kindly, the folks from WCBU with all the latest. Let's get into sports. Mike Olson, anything going on?
Oh, there's a lot
yesterday?
going on, especially with
let's hear it.
football getting going this week, especially at the high school level. Kansas City Royals had no luck last night. The White Sox shut them out 7-0. You know, the White Sox are
playing
building.
good, aren't
They're
they?
playing pretty well, and their minor leagues are good. See, when they've gotten rid of players, they've gotten prospects. Now, what's a prospect? Somebody thinks they're good enough to play in the major leagues. Well, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I've been following their Double-A team down in Birmingham, and they've got 70 wins already. their minor league system looks pretty good, which is now feeding up to their.
Well, what's the story with the Cardinals? The
Oh.
Peoria team the last couple of years stunk.
This
Stinks.
is. I've been
Stink,
following
stink,
Cardinal
stink.
baseball. all
You
my
know, I
life.
don't know what tenths we're talking about here.
At one time, the Cardinals had 32 minor league teams. 32, and that wasn't unusual. So did the Dodgers, but that was still more than most had. 32 teams.
What do they have now? 4?
Right now, they have
Triple A,
Triple A, Double A,
and-
High A, Low A, 4.
Yeah.
Every team has only 4. What I'm saying is, and they've always been proud of their minor league system, but it is not what it was.
Not anymore, is
No,
it? Yeah.
no, it's not. The Cardinals did beat Pittsburgh last night 7-6. Cubs had the day off after this, and they were celebrating their sweep over the weekend with the Los Angeles Angels. They swept the Angels in L.A. They play in San Francisco tonight at 8:45. In other action, the Royals are back at White Sox Park at 6:40, and the Cardinals are in Pittsburgh at 6:45. So good luck to those teams. U.S. Open started. That's the 4th major of tennis, right? In the New York.
I actually watched a little of
Yeah.
Venus Williams
did too.
last night. Did I hear right? Is she 45?
She's 45.
She ran out of gas, didn't she?
Yeah, and she has not played that much either.
She did quite well
She
for,
did quite
particularly
set-
in
the second set. Right,
Yeah.
that's when I started watching also and got excited for her, and then it faded. The men's draw for the United States, Francis Tiafoe, won in straight sets over Nishidia of Japan. On the women's side, let's just say a Japanese tennis player, male tennis player.
But you did good on it. I mean, how would we know whether
Nish-
you were doing it right
Well,
or
that's what I probably just should have rolled
just
through. it.
roll right through it?
On the women's side, Madison Keys, that's a young player coming up for us. On the women's side, lost her first round match in 3 sets. The women play a best of 3, so you got to win 2 sets. The men actually play best of 5. You got to win 3 sets. Venus Williams returned to the court at age 45. My writer did a good job playing the number 11 seed Makova. Venus lost in 3 sets. She lost the first set, she won the second set, and then she lost the third set. Today, Americans Coco Gauff, Sophia Kenin, and Danielle Collins will play. Those are pretty easy names. Tommy Paul, very easy, number 4 seed, will play this evening. Number 1 seed, Yannick Sinner, is also slated to take the court today. At Dozer Park this week, I think they're calling it, if I'm not wrong, Ryan Sandberg Week. They're gonna
I think you're right.
they're gonna
yeah.
honor, I think, a
Nice.
little something every
No,
night.
and August 31st, you're gonna.
I get, no, they,
I'm getting ahead of you,
oh,
Arnie.
you.
Sorry about
We're
that.
only at Tuesday now.
Okay.
So they play tonight. They begin at 6:35.
You don't have to get happy
Sunday.
about it.
Well, I know, but
Yo, don't steal your thunder.
Thunder. Sunday. This is my writer. I don't want to get my writer mad at me.
That's right.
Sunday is Pete Van Aken Day.
Hey, there we
In
go.
honor of Pete's it's his birthday.
Yes,
heavenly, they
correct.
call it
He'd
heaven.
be 100.
100 years his heavenly birthday. We lost Pete back in June of what year? Give you a clue, 12 years ago.
Oh, was 12 years ago? I was going to say
unbelievable.
19, but
No,
was it?
2013.
2013.
You know, that doesn't seem right. Are you sure of that?
Well,
Because-
it seemed a little long for me too, and I asked my writer, and she said that was in the obit.
Well, you can't. Who else died in 2013
Well, could be
locally?
locally.
Royce?
Royce died
I thought you,
2013.
okay.
Yeah, so
And nationally, who died?
oh, that's
Who was pretty special to me and to millions of others?
the comedian.
Jonathan Winters.
There you
Boy,
go.
that
Tough year.
not a good year.
Yeah, we could. You want to check that 2013
I
for
want
just
to, yeah.
because I don't want to. If
That doesn't seem like it. That was it was that long ago.
how many years do you think it was? Well, you just said 19.
I
That's
thought
5,
20.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's 6 even. That's 6 years.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
June 10th, 2013.
See what I'm getting at? If
Seems
you
hard to
think it's
believe.
1 or 2, it's usually 3 or 4. I'm just giving you my
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
If you think it's
Interesting.
5, it's probably 8 or 9.
You know,
And that's just the way it is.
I don't want to belabor too much, but it's done with love and affection. We started going over to his house with. I would call and say, "Are you ready for some glazed donuts?" Pete was a diabetic, as you know, and he loved glazed donuts. And he said, "You bring the donuts, and I'll have the coffee for you." So I started going over there, and then Mike joined us.
Yep.
And the
Pete
next thing
called
you
me.
know, we had
Phil Thieball was usually there, longtime writer with the Journal-Star. And there was a couple other people too at various times.
Did Ron Ferguson join us?
I think he did a time or two, yes.
Yeah, and we started gathering at his house, and well, I won't go any further other than the fact that he wound up going into the hospital, and then we had at least one, maybe two events at the Bueller home
I was going to say,
having
Bueller home.
breakfast.
And then we got a call on a Sunday night
Yeah,
from Rocky saying, Pete can't, we're probably not going to have the, Pete's
Yeah.
not doing very well.
well, I called him that Saturday morning and said, "You want me to bring you over some glazed donuts?" He said, "No, Roger." He said, "I'm tired of fighting this," and that I didn't want to hear.
No,
And then,
but Sunday night,
was it Monday that he died?
Sunday night, I got a call from either you or Rocky saying, we
there
will
will be
not
no-
have donuts at,
Yeah.
at Bueller home on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Pete's not doing well. And I believe it was Monday.
Do you
night.
still have Alan Harkerader was a resident at Bueller, and he took a picture of us having breakfast. You remember?
Yeah.
Did you get a copy of that? I'm sure you. I think Alan gave everybody a copy
I
of that
think
picture.
so. I'd have to,
That was
I hate to
such
say
a
it.
wonderful
yeah.
gathering, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
was
God
always-
love him.
Pete was fun to be around no matter what
Sure
it was.
was.
And
Yeah.
I will take if I could, a second too before 6:30 here, because we're done with sports. When he first had his leg amputated, and I saw him at a game, I said, Pete, I said, I know Rocky and Mikey and your family, Danny, will take you anywhere you need to go anytime. But if there's ever a place that comes up that you needed somebody right away, I just lived down the street. I lived on Teton. He was at off of Knoxville and Edgewild at that time.
Oh, okay.
And he said, well, I appreciate that. Well, he started calling me. And I got some real nice deals. I'm not afraid to say it. Like if a new player would come in with the Chiefs, he'd say, hey, this guy by the name of Solaris coming in from Cuba, play with us. He's in he went to the big leagues like 2 or 3 years later. But one of the nicest ones I ever had enjoyed was I got to, when they dedicated the statue to Corky Rock, not Corky, but Corky's dad. Yeah, help me with the first name there.
Bill
Well,
Robertson.
the dad, the coach.
Yeah, it's Corky Robertson.
No, but his Corky's dad. They donated a statue at Bradley for his dad down by the Renaissance Center. God, that's horrible. But you know, I'm talking about the one that coached at Bradley all 3 sports.
Yeah,
at once.
Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse.
Right. AJ Robertson. And got to go to that, and then there was a dinner after. Got to see when they, the communications department would bring in a big speaker every now and then for they have kind of symposium, and the guy from the Dodgers came in and spoke. And then the last one I'll bore our fans with, got 30 seconds left, was he called me one morning. He said, Mike, I got to get my license. I said, good, no problem, we'll go get it. I said, he says, well, we're going to Wyoming.
Yes, that's
Oh,
right.
I said,
Yeah.
I said, honey,
Yeah.
I said, so what am I supposed to say?
No waiting.
I said, well, yeah, but what did I think right away?
Yeah, Wyoming's the state.
Yes, we're going to Wyoming. I'm going, I got a couple things planned this weekend, Pete, but
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to tell him no. And I said, no, we're talking about the state of Wyoming? No, we're going to Wyoming, Illinois.
yeah.
I've been there. It's beautiful. And I'll tell you the other one that's good if anybody needs it, Lakin. I took my wife
Lakin,
up to
really?
Lakin.
Okay.
Lakin. They had 4
I-
women working, and she was the second one in there at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's interesting. I went to Roanoke,
Yeah.
and it turned out it was a long wait.
No, because of the Germantown Hills now and the
Yeah, I think
Metamora.
you're right. Yeah.
But no, Lakin's the place to go right now. That my wife.
I'll
was
keep
going.
that in mind because I have to have one every year due to my age,
You wanna
and
go to
it's too bad they don't make the
Roanoke and
teenagers
Lincoln.
go
Just-
every year.
just go
Yeah.
nice
There
ride
are
up.
more crashes involving teens than people 90, 91. Anyway,
And
well,
that's
what
sports.
else? Yeah, that was sports.
On WAZU 90.7 FM,
you-
lovely Peoria.
You
Illinois.
took us right up to the news at the bottom of the hour. And our news at the bottom of the hour brought to you by certified public accountant and tax specialist Matt Wall with Gordon Stockman and Wall. Matt offering a wide range of services designed to address the ever-changing accounting and tax needs for individuals and businesses. He's a CPA, of course, as we mentioned, and you can reach Matt today at 309-692-4030. Interesting, this message and how it reaches a multifaceted audience, you might say. One of our sponsors recently called and said, "Can you give me the phone number of Matt Wall because I need a tax specialist to audit my business?" And the connection was made, and he was very happy with the work of Matt Wall. Anyway, with the news, here's Terry.
Many protest and demonstrators are angry and even threatening. That wasn't what happened early yesterday, though. In front of Manual High School, a large crowd of men warmly welcomed students to show their support after 2 shootings last week. That included the wounding of a 15-year-old who sustained an injury from a bullet. Their response was large and positive, with men attending from all walks of life. It was the idea of Police Chief Eric Echeverria who told the crowd the importance of men as role models. He said children need men not just today, but every day. Among those present for the event was Robert Johnson, president of the Peoria Park District Board of Trustees. He appeared on our program yesterday after he called in, and he lauded the attendees for their support. In other Peoria news, 2 men were taken by car to a local hospital after they were shot Sunday in the area of the 2700 block of West Treewin Avenue on the city's far south side. Police say the victims, one who's in critical condition, are ages 23 and 31. Officers quickly on the scene captured and arrested 34-year-old Elijah Irby and a 17-year-old. Both faced numerous gun charges. In national news, President Trump, like most Americans, is tired of protesters burning the United States flag. He's signed an executive order directing the Attorney General to prosecute anyone violating laws involving desecration of the country's flag. If found guilty, the person would spend 1 year in jail. Trump is also threatening to assign National Guard units to protect the people of Chicago. Out-of-control wildfires in the state of Oregon have officials worried. More than 22,000 acres have been torched. Only 5% of the fires have been contained. Thousands of families have been forced to evacuate. The city of Pekin is preparing to celebrate its annual Marigold Festival. The event is scheduled from September 3rd to Sunday, September 7th at Mineral Springs Park. One of the highlights is the hunt for the Marigold Medallion and the $1,500 prize. The first clue was released yesterday. Another highlight is the Taste of Pekin, set for Wednesday, September 3rd from 5 to 8 p.m. The big parade is Saturday, beginning at 10 in the morning. And those are the headlines, Roger.
All right, let's take a check of the weather, and it's brought to you by our friends at your hometown community banks, division of Morton Community Bank. These are wonderful folks. There are 46 convenient and friendly hometown locations throughout central Illinois, providing a variety of financial services. Look for the Clock Tower, and you'll know they have time for you. Member FDIC. Weather-wise, we could tell you what the weather is today and say, and every day following, it will be the same. Sunny and pleasant. The high 75, overnight low tonight, 53, sunny and warmer, up to 80 tomorrow. Thursday, sunny and 82. Friday and Saturday, backing off into the 70s. Both days around 77, 78 degrees. And right now, our temperature at a pleasant, albeit a little on the cool side, 50 degrees. There you have the news and the weather. We were talking about Pete Vanaken, and there are a lot of wonderful stories. Pete was a regular on our show and had a great sense of humor. And I remember when he had his surgery and he was struggling to get around. I said, and Royce had passed away, and they were having visitation at Wright and Salmon mortuary. And I said, Pete, I have a van now to transport my wife to doctor's appointments and other particular medical events. I said, why don't I bring the van over and we'll put you in your wheelchair and we'll get you over to the visitation in the back and so forth. He said, great idea, Roger. So I went over and we put him in the wheelchair, and I brought him out and put him into the van, which is wheelchair accessible. And for safety reasons, all kinds of buckles. Buckle here, buckle there, buckle with him, buckle with the chair, and so forth. But I got him secured and went to visitation, and afterwards wheeled him back out, put him in the van, and I decided not to do all the buckles. And that was not a good idea. I went around a corner.
Around in the Whoa!
I that was very bad. Let's say I'm past the law and statute of limitation, so I'm okay. At any rate, I went around the corner. I went around a little too sharp, and I heard Pete say, who was seated behind me, I heard him say, whoa, and I looked in the rearview mirror, and his wheelchair was actually tilted.
I'm gonna say, he was on two wheels on one side.
I'll tell you what, my heart stopped, and maybe that's when I
You
started
could have been
having,
in deep doo-doo with the family.
yeah, well, with the Lord too, for that matter. But
Your intentions were good.
And I said, Pete, I think I should have used those other two buckles. And I can laugh about it now, but I sure was scared to death after not buckling him down. So when people say to Roger, you need to buckle down, Roger, they knew what they were talking about. But so many wonderful, I'll tell you one other funny story. We were on WOAM, Breakfast with Royce and Roger, and Pete, again, was, like I say, a regular guest. And on that show we had, and I'm trying to find it from Etherland or whatever they call it out there in the hemisphere, that part of the program, because we had Pete, Jim Maloof, George Shadid, Bob Selasky, Alicia Butler, Royce, and myself. And there might have been one or
Kevin
two
Lyons
others.
there? 'Cause
Pardon?
Was Kevin Lyons there? He stopped in a
And
lot.
Kevin Lyons, thank you. And it was a regular laugh fest. And they started putting, particular George, and you know George and Pete were connected through the marriage of their kids. And George was really giving Pete a hard time over the failure of Bradley University to recognize and hang Gene Melchiori's jersey from the rafters at the Civic Center. And George was giving him a rough time, and Royce interjected and said, you know, they wanted to hang Pete Vanaken's jersey from the rafters, but with Pete still in it. It was, like I said, just a wonderful time, and Pete had just a marvelous, he was pretty much wore the tag Mr. Baseball, as Bruce Sowers had the tag Mr. Hockey.
Yeah, they both saved those sports. In other words,
They sure did.
a guy by the name of Overstreet came with the baseball, right, the same summer that hockey had come in with a guy by the name of Ken Wilson. They were both from out of town. They both found out that they could not generate, being from out of town, they didn't generate the you might say
attendance,
excitement
yeah.
and knowing the connections to get things done with, and people, you know, somebody comes in, I mean, there's been deals where people come in and grab money and they were gone before the season's ever started.
Right.
I mean, that did not happen here. I'm not trying to but they tried their best, but within 2 years, they were both done. The hockey guy didn't last even through the second season. And I believe the other, this is when they were the Suns. They probably lasted 1 or 2 seasons also, only if I
You
remember.
know, when Peoria was Peoria not hockey-wise at one time in the International League?
Oh, that's
at
when
the
we started,
AAA?
right? That was
Yeah.
the league.
What led to the demise, quality-wise, of hockey play in Peoria? Lack of money?
Well, you mean that first year, you mean, or just?
No, I mean now, how would
I
you compare hockey in Peoria today with baseball? You know, we have Class A, Double A. One time we had
yeah.
Class D.
We're-
What is Peoria
We're
today?
Class A. We're
Class A
yeah.
in hockey, okay.
Yeah.
But at one time,
we
we were
didn't-
Triple A.
We didn't support the AAA. People in Peoria did not understand the difference. I saw Double A baseball down in Florida when I was down there last week, and I go over time, I go down. There's a big difference between Double A and high A too that we are right now. And in AAA is those guys are coming up and down. I mean, Des Moines and Chicago, those guys have to have both hats out at the same time. We sent one guy down the other day, one guy up. I'm talking the Cubs.
Right.
That's the Cubs team. The only thing I'll say regarding the hockey, the interest is higher today than it's ever been. See, I think when we tried to climb too fast, we're averaging more for the Southern League than we did the American League, which is the second
Oh,
best team.
really?
Yeah.
Is that because of the price of the tickets?
Yeah, probably a little bit, but more so just the good job that Bart Rogers and Katie Poggeman
They're doing
and
to promote the hockey team.
they've done a tremendous job. I won't get into it, but they've had to deal with what the Civic Center has not been pleasant at times.
No, I know.
I guarantee.
I don't understand that. I really don't. And frankly speaking, I'm more critical of members of the city council than I am the manager of the civic center. They take victory laps over the turnout for rock and roll and some of the shows, as well as they should for that matter. But they almost despise, and that may be too strong of a verb.
I think if you talk to
hockey.
some of the management of the Riverman, they may not go.
They may not disagree with the
that statement.
characterization.
But they do have a contract now, and I think for this year and maybe next year. But I think a lot of it has to do with John Gee Trudell, and we'll get John Gee on here before they start their training camp when he gets.
We have been very fortunate with
John
him.
John Gee is
He's
started
a
here.
dynamo.
And
He's a dynamo.
He just he's possessed like Pete Bartosmani and my dad were to put hockey into the scene of Peoria. I mean, but he looks at it as a obligation to keep this where it is and to improve it. And his record is almost 70%, and he has to do 90% of it.
You know, one of the things that I heard from both Bruce and Pete, and they said that the key to success is putting butts in the seat,
Yeah.
as we all know. And the problem has been in the past, according to what they said, that Peorians didn't support the teams. Most of the
surrounding
fans were from outside Peoria.
Area.
Had you pretty much heard the same?
I think it's somewhat true there. I think you're talking a little bit economics too.
Yes, right,
that
yeah.
you have a family, even if it's a $15 seat, and you bring the husband, wife, and 2 kids. I don't think there's a kids except for special nights. So you're talking at least for 4 of you at least $60 to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then concessions run by the Civic Center, and
They take it all.
They
don't give anything to the
Those
Rivermen.
prices, I try to eat my peanut butter sandwich and jelly sandwich
before you
I
go,
leave,
yeah.
because I don't like paying $8-9 for a hot dog, or
Yeah.
a pork chop, and it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's
Well,
good.
it's good. The food is good,
And-
but
but same thing
you're
with the
also
drinks.
paying. You're also paying for the convenience
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I mean, here you are. Everything's all ready. You don't have to heat it up in the kitchen, etc.
No.
So it's a good
Yeah,
arrangement.
But no, the hockey, as far as I'm concerned, is at its. But once again, the prices, their expenses are a lot lower. you know, when you played in the American League, and you had to get some additional players other than the ones that you were paying 75 to 100,000 for those guys. Now they're paying 300 a week. You know, so
That's a big difference.
and that's what Bart Rogers and the man at that time that was involved, I think it was John Butler. They said this is the league that we need to be in. You know, we're going to draw 3,000 or 4,000 people. You know, this is the one that fits our, and I think they were right on that.
Yeah. What happened to the Peoria Pirates? You know, that was
That's a good
indoor
question, too.
football. It seemed to be very popular in Peoria and seemed to be popular across the country. Now it's non-existent, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it used to be on TV quite a bit
Yeah.
too, and with the major.
Did people get tired of going to it, or did they not make enough money?
I know when they started that they were very generous to the football coaches in the area. They had a little deal for us and gave us, I think, season tickets that first year. And boy, you saw before the season was over, they were drawing 9,000 people. And then I think they won the league, and then the next year they went to a little higher league. They won that, and no, they
Here today and gone tomorrow.
But then, yeah, the one well, there was two guys really. The head coach, you know, moved in, and he's still around here. I think he's still living. I'm fighting for his name too.
Well, it'll come to you. In the meantime, we'll tell everybody. Sunny and pleasant today with a high of 75.
Gotta do it.
Right now, 50 degrees, and we'll be right back.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Today's Pet Tip is brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. You can be your dog's doctor in a pinch. Some common drugs in your medicine cabinet can also ease Fido's minor ailments. Use common sense and read the caution labels. Minor temporary pain and soreness can be treated with aspirin. 80 milligrams or 1 baby aspirin for 50 to 100 pounds of animal weight would be safe. Aspirin is generally safe for dogs, but not all pain relievers. Do not give your pet Tylenol or acetaminophen. Allergies can be treated with Benadryl. 1 milligram per pound of animal weight 2 times daily should be a safe dose. Tummy upsets can be treated with Pepto-Bismol. You would give 1 teaspoon per 20 pounds of animal weight every 4 to 6 hours, up to 24 hours. Constipation is best treated with canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie mix, just the canned pumpkin. Mix it with their dry food and they will think it's a treat. Approximately 2 tablespoons for 20 pounds of body weight. These few tips may help you avoid unnecessary trips to the vet and make your pet more comfortable through short-term ailments. As always, if what we try at home doesn't work or our pet seems to worsen, we should see our veterinarian as soon as possible. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSBR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's Pet Tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at PeoriaPetCrematory.com.
Thank you, Louis Linder. Hey, I don't know if you heard the news, late breaking news this morning, but Hostess, one of my favorite packaged pastry, is recalling Ding Dongs.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that?
Oh.
I mean, you talk about heartbreaking news, that's it. You know, we've got terrible things happening around the world, but when you have to recall Ding Dongs,
Ding dongs and hostess.
yeah, tell you what. Well, no, that's the wrong signal.
Hostess and
Yeah,
Twinkies.
that's bad news.
Twinkies.
Yeah, Twinkies, yeah.
I don't know.
When you were growing up, what was your favorite packaged treat?
Hostess Twinkies.
I'd go along with that. There was another one that was like a fold over. I forget what.
Well,
The
one I remember-
flips, like a banana flip?
That was it. I think that was it. That was wonderful.
I like the Hostess cupcake too, the one that basically dark chocolate.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
was
With a little white
white
swiggle
stuff.
on top
And
of it,
that
you
little
got
white
it.
filling in it, right?
You're on the air with Breakfast with Roger and Friends. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Oh, this is Father Parker.
Parker! I didn't get a call, Parker. If I'd have known you were being down there yesterday, I'd have been down there with you, Napper and I. How you doing?
I'm too blessed to be stressed. You know that already, Uncle Mike. So this is the deal. He's asking about people's favorite snacks as a kid and all that stuff. I guess mine would be the one that I didn't like is the Star Crunch. I never did care too much for that Star
What was
Crunch.
that?
That's that one that's like with the chocolate and it's got like caramel in the middle of it. It's like a gooey toffee type thing.
Yeah,
But mine would be.
What was your favorite?
He's in a different era than us too, Roger.
I love Nutty Butters. Nutty, you know what I'm talking about? That Terry, the one that's like the chocolate waffle. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a waffle, like a waffle stick
Yeah,
type
the,
of
the,
thing.
the Nutter Butters.
Yep, they got peanut butter inside.
We're talking now, Roger, with this young man. We're talking the '90s. You know, come on.
Those were little Debbie,
You and I,
weren't they?
you're talking the '50s, and I'm talking the '60s. You know.
Well, it's all type of delicious snacks. The
Well,
best
that
thing
means
of all was Grandma.
Sugar, Mike.
I know, but I'm talking
Yeah,
about why
that-
we like Hostess stuff, because that was, we didn't have all
Yeah,
those
everybody
choices.
loves Twinkies. You know, you can't never go wrong with a Twinkie. But
No.
the best snack of all was Grandma's warm cookies in the
Well,
Sunday
I'm not
morning
gonna debate with that either. Or she,
with a cup of milk. Come on now, we know that. But if you talking about store bought stuff, everybody got their favorite go-to little snack that's in a little
definitely,
plastic
definitely.
wrapper.
yeah.
Everybody, and it's some of them aren't on the store shelves anymore, though, Uncle Roger. Sometimes they season them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they don't always have all the ones all the time. Like the little Debbie's cakes, they don't have all the same ones anymore.
You know, one of the things that I do, because we know there are a lot of calories in them, and that's what makes them so good, is when I go down that aisle, I start having tunnel vision, because if I don't, I'll start grabbing those Hostess. I think Hostess is the mostest when it comes to real wonderful treats.
Oh, you know, that's why they put the advertisement on there of something jolly and jovial, because that's the thing that pulls you right in. You be like, you know what? I remember when I was a little boy. Give me all 5 boxes. That's how it goes.
Give me a
You know, I had the feeling you never were a little boy. I think when you were born, you weighed 14 pounds, 20 ounces, something like
Well,
that.
it would have made a mess of my mom if I came out this side. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
know,
I was
yeah.
little for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while.
God
What
bless
was Emma's favorite treat to fix for you?
Oh, so you know my wife is amazing in the kitchen anyway, but she makes a homemade original recipe passed down from mother to daughter, pineapple upside down cake, and I think you indulged in that before, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Uncle Roger.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. The only thing she didn't make from scratch is the pineapple, but that's
That's kind of hard to do, yeah. You know, I always justified an extra piece of the pineapple upside down cake on the grounds that I was having fruit.
Well, you were.
Well, you were, yeah. Well, by the way, I know you work for the Park District, and we had a wonderful interview with Robert Johnson yesterday. It was absolutely amazing, the turnout down at Manual. And it was, what's amazing about it is the police chief didn't tell anybody about it until Sunday night. Yeah. And to have that kind of a turnout that quick is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yep, it was. It was. Well, I was thankful that you allowed me to speak on it that morning. Because, I mean, I don't know if that helped or not. But
well, it did help. You bet it helped. Every time you're on, it helps. And I'm sorry, don't pay you more.
I was at the store the other day, like after I was getting off one job, going to the next job, and I ran by to grab me a juice or something. I don't know, energy drink or whatever it was. But in the process of that, when I did it, a guy ran up to me like, "Yo, man, I love hearing you on the radio, man. You bring so much flair to the show." And I'm like, "Nah, I just bring a little color, baby."
Yeah. Well, no, you bring more than a little. You bring a lot. I mean, you're very loud.
You guys know I love you guys. I miss you guys. And as soon as we get our first break, I definitely will come in a few of those mornings and do my due diligence to bring y'all some donuts, baby.
You've been saying that promises.
Eddie, do me a favor, though. Let's keep it going on the Manual deal. A number of us, we talked about it at a game last night. We were at, a couple of us, A.J. Guyton, Terry Knapp, and myself. You know, a lot of us did not know about it. And you can throw it on me if you want, but I get up early and I go to bed by night. I don't hear the news a lot at night, and and I get going in the morning. Yesterday I had some tests, so I didn't get to listen to. I was getting an ultrasound.
Still, the turnout was
great, and I appreciate. But now what's the key now, Roger? Keep it going. It needs to be done, in my opinion, at least once a month. At least.
I agree with you.
If it doesn't, then it will die, like 80% of the things that we've done here in Peoria.
I think so, too. I think consistency is the key.
I'll talk to
with
Robert
anything
about
like
it, too, and Chief, because it needs to continue because that's the only way it's going to, it's got to come from the community.
You're right.
It's not going to come from just putting this program in or that program in.
All right, we got to go, my friend. Thanks for checking in.
All right, love you guys. Have a blessed day.
Thanks, Ed. Ed Parker, one of the community's great leaders, a super nice guy. You bet. Ambassador of Goodwill. News, weather, sports coming up next. You're having breakfast with Roger and friends on WAZU FM 90.7 in Peoria, Illinois. And so happy to say good morning to the people watching and listening on YouTube. Stay tuned. More coming your way this morning. Happy Tuesday morning. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful morning. It's Tuesday, August 26th, and let's start with the weather, brought to you by Steve Sink. He's the managing partner. You know, we've been talking about Steve with PHX affiliates. Steve is what they call a business broker, and has been working at this profession for over 20 years, and he helps people purchase a business, maybe get rid of a business, but he knows business, and you learn more from Steve at 309-696-8508. Beautiful morning today, beautiful day, sunny and pleasant with a high of 75, low tonight 53. Tomorrow will be sunny and warming up to 80 degrees. Thursday will have a temperature around 82 degrees. Friday and Saturday dropping back into the 70s, 77, 78 degrees, the highs on Friday and Saturday. Right now we're stuck at 50 degrees, but we'll take it and run with it while we listen to the news with Terry.
Too often, protests and demonstrators are angry and even threatening. That wasn't what happened early yesterday morning in front of Manual High School. A large crowd of men warmly welcomed students to show their support after 2 shootings last week that included the wounding of a 15-year-old who sustained an injury from a bullet.
The response was amazingly large and very positive, with men attending from all walks of life. Now, it was the idea of Police Chief Eric Echeverria. He told the crowd the importance of men as role models, and he said children need men, not just today, he said, but every day. And Mike has echoed that as well. He said children, among those present for the event, Robert Johnson, president of the Peoria Park District Board of Trustees, and appearing on our program by phone yesterday, Johnson lauded the attendees for their support.
I'm Robert Johnson. I just left Manual High School.
Tell us what went on.
How you doing? There was a large crowd there.
Great.
City managers, chief of police, school board members, city officials, and a lot of kids getting off the buses. It was on both sides of the river. It was a large gathering.
Good.
All walks of life was here. Well, they was getting off the bus. They were smiling. Some of them had their little heads down. They was all tickled to death. They were shaking hands with everybody on both lines of the sidewalk. It was a very happy occasion. Veterans were there. Military people were there. Also, police, firemen, they were there. Parents, a lot of men. They were saying they wanted to do it more often, and they want to come back after school is out and continue it. But it was a great response. I was really pleased to see.
Great.
Because the Park District is definitely interested in making sure that everybody is, well behaved and everything as well.
In other Peoria news, 2 men were taken by car to a local hospital after they were gunned down Sunday in the area of the 2700 block of West Treewind Avenue on the city's far south side. Police say the victims, one who's in critical condition, are ages 23 and 31. Officers quickly on the scene captured and arrested 34-year-old Elijah Irby and a 17-year-old. Both faced numerous gun charges.
In national news, President Trump, like many Americans, he's kind of tired of protesters burning our flag. He signed an executive order directing the Attorney General to prosecute anyone violating laws involving desecration of the country's flag. If found guilty, the person would spend 1 year behind bars.
Trump is threatening to assign National Guard units to protect the people of Chicago. That has Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker in panic mode. Trump is praising the work of police and military units in Washington, D.C. Crime is down in the capital city, especially fatal shootings. Federal officials say residents of the city have been quietly thanking them for bringing in the military, while politicians criticize the action on television.
Elsewhere, out-of-control wildfires in the state of Oregon have officials worried in that part of the country. More than 22,000 acres have been torched. Only 5% of the fires have been contained. Thousands of families have been forced to evacuate.
The city of Pekin is preparing to celebrate its annual Marigold Festival. The event is scheduled from September 3rd to Sunday, September 7th at Mineral Springs Park. One of the highlights is the hunt for the Marigold Medallion and the $1,500 prize. The first clue was released yesterday. Another highlight is the Taste of Pekin, set for Wednesday, September 3rd from 5 to 8 p.m.
I love those. Don't you love those? Taste of Pekin, Taste of Peoria. Oh, we don't have Taste of Peoria.
No, it used to be nice.
It was.
Very nice.
There's a big parade Saturday morning beginning at 10 o'clock.
At the Peoria School District Board meeting last night, I missed seeing Terry. Terry doesn't go to those anymore, does he, Mike?
No,
Terry,
no.
That's too bad. He always had something to say. Well, anyway, members last night approved hiring a search firm to select a replacement for the retiring superintendent, Dr. Sharon Karat. By a vote, once again, 4-3, the board selected Hart International Educational Services. Now, why has that become controversial? What firm to hire? Well, it was last night. The issue became controversial because of an alleged, this is what has been reported, connection with the search firm and board member Martha Ross. Ross did not recuse herself and apparently, by some, cast the deciding vote. And that's a look at some of the stories we're following. Let's hear what WCBU has to say, and their news brought to you by Sam Lilly and Associates. Sam is an insurance broker. He's been around for over 40 years. He's the dean of insurance folks, and you can reach Sam for more information about insurance coverages at 309-245-4374.
From the WCBU newsroom, I'm June Delahunty. An expert on technology and the courts says AI holds great promise for improving the quality of legal work and closing the access to justice gap. Daniel Lina Jr. from Northwestern University acknowledged problems too, like a 4th District Appellate Court case in which a lawyer used AI to write a brief filled with non-existent cases.
Of course, we need to be measuring these hallucinations and the negatives, but the other side of the ledger is understanding the positive benefits that these tools are bringing across this whole ecosystem for lawyers, judges, and especially self-represented litigants.
Lina says AI could help guide these self-represented litigants who don't have the constitutional right to an attorney during civil proceedings. An original printing of the Emancipation Proclamation is coming to the Peoria Riverfront Museum next year as part of an exhibit featuring major historical documents. Abraham Lincoln's 1863 Executive Order freeing slaves joins copies of the Declaration of Independence and Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech in the America 250 exhibition. The collection, titled The Promise of Liberty, is guest curated by noted historian and filmmaker Ken Burns. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says the state won't be able to make up for the Trump administration's cuts to the university research grants. At a recent bill signing in Champaign, Pritzker said Illinois will do everything it can to help preserve higher education in the state, but the state can only do so much.
I want to be honest, there is no chance that the state of Illinois can fill the holes that the Trump administration has created for higher education.
A split Supreme Court decided last week that the National Institute of Health can, for now, cancel almost 2,000 research grants related to heart disease, Alzheimer's, and other health topics. Congresswoman and U.S. Senate candidate Robin Kelly says Democrats need to do more to push back against the Republican policy agenda. Kelly tells the 21st show that, if elected, she would support eliminating the filibuster that requires at least 60 votes to pass most policy bills in the Senate. She also expressed support for congressional redistricting in Democratic states in response to new maps creating more Republican-leaning districts in Texas.
I believe in fair maps, but we got to fight fire with fire.
I'm June Delahunty.
Well, let's get into the world of sports, bringing you up to date with all the latest. Here's a good guy by the name of Mike Olson, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Roger. Hey, I'd like to start with middle school baseball. So,
Really?
Middle school baseball playing, going good. Thanks to A.J. Guyton and his crew at the Peoria Public Schools. But I thought a very good game. I saw parts of 2 games. Reservoir.
Where are they playing?
Well, they play, the one game I saw was at Woodruff High School, and that was between Von Steuben, who beat Tree Wynn like 5-2. Pretty good game. Right. And then the other game I wanted to watch a little bit because I saw them playing as I went by to head down to Woodruff. I went by the stadium, and at the stadium, Reservoir and Peoria Christian were playing. And Reservoir.
Now, these are middle school.
These are middle school.
How old are we talking about?
We're looking 5th through 8th.
Okay.
5th through 8th. And most of the kids are 7th and 8th, but there's an occasional 5th grader on the team who's played. But Reservoir ended up getting nipped by Peoria Christian. And Peoria Christian actually plays in the IESA League, which is the leagues with mostly the suburban schools like Morton. Morton has a very good junior high program. Metamora, East Peoria. Our teams are just getting going relatively competition-wise and a lot of developmental more than real competition. I say ours, I mean Peoria Public Schools, like at Tree Win or at I call it Harrison, whatever the name is now. I can't keep up with it all, but Reservoir, which is the old Washington, I do know that. They have a number of kids that's now. Remember, it was Reservoir.
Yeah.
Then it went to
when I was there,
Washington.
It was Reservoir.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
you're talking
Reservoir.
about the school that has the crossing on War Drive.
Yes, yeah. That
Used to be the old Reservoir School.
it's always been the gifted school too, per se.
Always, really? In the
Well,
beginning?
I say
don't-
always.
No,
When I was
yeah.
growing up, Thomas Jefferson was kind of the
always.
then Roosevelt.
Well, like I said, it goes like eating those Twinkies and
Well,
whatever.
yeah.
The 5 things that Eddie brought up, I didn't have any of those. That was 2000. My diabetes.
Well, it's a different generation,
Well, that's
son.
what I'm getting at, yeah. But no, Washington, when Reservoir
Washington
became the
originally was at Washington, the top of Union Hill.
that's right.
I think Alicia
Oh, I
Butler
see.
was a
I see.
student there.
You're right. But then they when that
They
closed
closed, yes.
to be night school with our buddy Graham,
Chuck Graham.
they moved to Reservoir and changed the name to Washington.
Oh.
Yeah. But now guess what happened? Now they went back and they got Reservoir is now the old Washington. Not the old Washington, but the old Washington.
You lost me after the old
Well,
old.
no, you're talking about the one that's up on the hill.
Yes.
Right. That closed and only became night school. Okay?
Under Chuck Graham.
Under Chuck Graham. So
Sure.
they needed a place to house the gifted school. Okay, the District 150 promoted for a long. That went to Reservoir that you went to. That building on War Memorial.
I didn't go there. I knew about it. But where was Roosevelt Magnet? Wasn't that a
Roosevelt
gifted-
that's a magnet school now. That was supposed to be the fine arts middle school.
Oh, okay.
That was that's down
On the
off
south
of Western.
side.
Off
Yeah,
of Western.
south side.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It used to be Roosevelt Junior High School.
Well, see, we use the term middle now because we include 5th graders.
Maybe a little later on we'll get into it. I'd like to know why we suddenly developed middle schools. What was the purpose?
Well, we put all
when
the
I went to
testosterone in
school,
one
it
building.
was K through 12, and now you've got middle schools and
Yeah. No,
junior schools and senior schools.
most junior highs, the lowest they'll go is 6th grade.
Yeah, junior high used to be 6, 7, and 8.
6, 7, and 8.
Well, that came after K through 12.
That came after, K through 8
Well,
buildings.
K through 8, because that was elementary school. What
No,
we
but
called the grade
this-
school.
yeah.
You're talking
Yeah.
about the district.
Yeah,
having them-
I'm talking about K through 12. Those were the grades. Yes, K to 8.
8 was
but
called the elementary.
But I never, you're right, I never did hear the term when I was growing up, and that was back in the
wasn't- there
days of
wasn't that term.
Abraham Lincoln, where it was
Middle school.
kindergarten to 8th grade,
Right.
and freshmen and seniors. And now we've got all the nomenclatures and the acronyms, K through 8, or
K
K
through-
through 6,
K through
or
4.
K, I don't know.
That's
I'm
elementary now in Peoria.
Part of it was the larger class sizes that came along. And so what we called the grade schools didn't have enough classrooms to handle everybody. So that's why they kind of split them up. Like I know East Peoria had Central Junior High, 6, 7, and 8, while I was still back in a K through 8 school. My
Right,
cousins were
yeah.
going to Central Junior High.
Yeah, they developed that earlier than anybody, didn't they, in East
Well,
Peoria?
we can
think
go
so.
back to 2. What about Tree Win?
Junior high.
Junior high.
Yes, I
that
remember
was
that, yeah.
7, 8, and 9.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, that's unusual.
That's right. That was very. I had never heard. In other words, you didn't go to a high school in Peoria at that time, public school in those areas until Manual was 10 through 12.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, back to sports.
Yeah. Got to do it, don't I?
We digress.
I mentioned Reservoir, and I got way
Yeah, well, that's not unusual for this program. We have no idea what we're doing,
Well, we're working.
but we love it.
The White Sox beat the Royals last night 7-0, and the Cardinals beat the Pirates 7-6. And I'm not afraid to say it. Those 4 teams right now, they're not near the top of any league, I guarantee you. In fact, I'll just stop there. If you can't say something good, then don't say it. Cubs had a day off after celebrating their sweep of the Los Angeles Angels over this past weekend, and they had the day off yesterday, so today they'll start their series in San Fran. They'll be playing the Giants tonight at 8:45.
That'll be a tough series for the
It's going
Cubs.
to be tough out there, you bet. In other action, the Royals are again at the White Sox at 6:40, and the Cardinals will be in Pittsburgh at 6:45. U.S. Open tennis. That's the last Grand Slam of tennis. What are the 4 Grand Slams for tennis?
Well, the Australian Open and the French Open and the U.S. Open and Wimbledon.
You got them. So this is the last one. In the men's draw
Thank
for
you.
the United States, Francis Tiafoe won in straight sets over Nishika of Japan. On the women's side, Madison Keys lost her first round match in 3 sets. Venus Williams, you'll know the Williams sisters' name, she returned to the court at age 45 to play in the U.S. Open. I don't think she's been playing in all the big tournaments. Maybe.
No, I don't think she was second air in the 3rd set.
Right, anyway.
And so was I. And I was playing tennis.
Anyway, she got beat by 11 seed Makova. Venus lost in 3 sets. She lost a set, won a set, and then lost. So it's for the women, it's best 2 out of 3 sets. Today, Americans Coco Gauff, one of our great young players, Sophia Kenin, and Daniel Collins will play.
Yeah, you know that youngster fired her coach. Did you see that in the news?
Gauff did?
Yes.
Yeah. And how old is she now? Remember she?
I'm going to say 22.
I'm going to say, because she came on the scene at about 16.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
and we always say again, we think she's been playing for 2 or 3 years. It's probably more like 5 or 6.
Yeah, she might even be younger than 22, but
I would say
that's
she's
a wild guess.
22, I'd say, too, is a good guess.
If
21.
All right, there you go.
missed it by that much.
There you go. You got it.
That's kind of a muted bell there.
Something.
Oh, that's
There
better.
you go.
Come in.
Tommy Paul, the number 14 seed, will play this evening. And number 1 seed, I like this name, Yannick Sinner. He's the Sinner will also is slated to play on the, I call them synthetic courts tonight. You know, that's one thing about the majors too. Some are played on clay. Wimbledon's played on grass. And then looking at the courts last night, you can tell they're blue and they look real sharp. You know, you look by the time the Wimbledon's over, the grass where they serve from is not green anymore.
No, I know. I don't know how they play on grass.
I was going to say, I don't play tennis, but
No.
what little bit I know, it's tough, and
Yeah.
grass
Well,
just doesn't
grass
give.
has got you can cut the grass at a certain level, but some levels
And still,
you
just-
see it in the outfield of baseball too. The level you cut it at does not determine what the actual height of the grass is at that level.
It's kind of like going back to the old days when we played on dirt diamonds.
Yeah, same deal.
You know, except this is hard. I'm with you, Terry. I don't know how you play tennis on a grass court.
That's Wimbledon's deal, and Wimbledon, like
As
a lot of us
apparently
have,
it's a certain type of soil.
yeah.
You know,
Well, you hope it's very level too, so that it's. But that's what they'll say. Depending on the wear and tear, the bounce is going to be a little different.
yeah, it could be. You're
And
right.
just like like you just mentioned, when you play on a dirt diamond, and the spikes are being run from first base to second base, and I'm playing second base, well, sometimes that ball hit that hole just right.
Bounce
And
up
next
and
thing
hit
you
you
know,
in the head.
it's you get your head out of the way, hopefully. So anyway, that's our. At Dozer Park this week, it's basically Ryan Sandberg week. They'll open tonight at 6:30, and they will honor, I think, Ryan Sandberg all week. They are playing the Cubs Farm Club that's in South Bend, so that makes it a little more interesting. This is a Cubs Farm Club, South Bend, playing the Cardinals High A team, the Chiefs. But the big day, I think, and I plan to go Sunday, and we'll report on it maybe Monday morning to you folks. But Sunday is, let's pack the place. It's Pete Van Aken Day. Usually Sunday,
That's the last home game.
that's the last home game. I'm going to go out on a limb here, but it's usually about a 2 o'clock start on Sunday.
Okay.
I don't think they start too early. If you check that, maybe just so we get. The
This
right-
is, isn't this Taco Tuesday for
Taco
those of us?
Tuesdays tonight for $2. Yeah,
Yeah.
a good deal.
How are the tacos at?
You know what?
Dozer
I'm a
Park?
hot dog man. You know,
Okay.
that's
What's the cost for a hot dog at Dozer Park?
well, $5.
$5.
Five,
Okay.
6, yeah.
Are they still good?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, be careful when they have those. Sometimes they'll have the special $1 hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't
Okay.
cooked sometimes as well. But that's my thing.
Well, a weenie is a weenie.
Weenies win. Okay, we lost Pete back in June of 2013, but his legacy continues as the Chiefs bring baseball to Peoria, pro baseball to Peoria, for its 42nd year. And that's sports on WAZU 90.7 FM in lovely Peoria, Illinois. You can also get it on youtube.com/at Roger and Friends. Got LS, capital LS at the end.
You got it.
All right.
All right, we have some late breaking news from Terry.
Sunday's game's going to be at 6:35.
Sunday night?
So Sunday night.
Oh boy, that's a little different.
Usually, yeah.
Oh, you know
that-
why? Maybe a little bit.
Why?
No school Monday, Labor Day.
No
Labor
school.
Day.
Oh, you're right.
It's hard to think of Labor Day
Yes.
when I'm talking about August 31st.
Yeah, you're
This
right.
is the earliest Labor Day will ever be, September 1st. It's the first Monday.
You know, you mentioned Madison Keys, and I have a question for the panel. When did parents start naming their girls Madison?
I'm not a parent, so I don't keep
Okay.
track of kids' names.
Okay, okay.
I do as I listen to them, and I was at a community night for Metamora, all their activities. You will hear many female names that you have never heard of
Well,
before in your life.
I bring the subject up as an example. You said you don't have children, but Terry, when I was growing up, I didn't know a single girl, and we had, I don't know, 400 kids in my senior class at Woodruff High School, but I never heard of a girl named Terry. I'm sure there were. Terry Garr, but Terry in the movies, one of my favorite blonde actresses, but that was later on. Was there a reason why your parents named you Terry? Is there something
Yes.
in the family?
Well, there's an actress named Terry Moore,
Terry Moore, I do remember her. You're right.
and
That
No,
goes
you
back
spell-
to the
you spell
50s.
it with an I.
I spell mine Teri, but that's because
T-E-R, only one R.
one R.
See, once again, we get this different spellings now too, Roger.
Yeah. How was Terry Moore? Wasn't it with a Y?
Yeah, hers was Terry.
Y, yeah.
But Dad thought that Mom looked like Terry Moore.
Really, that is interesting.
Yeah, so then he chose the name, and Mom had had 2 years of writing Gretchen Chamberlain on a line, and it never fit. So I said, I'm going to give her a short first name.
T-E-R-I. And that's their choice. My wife is Lauren,
Lauren, how do you spell her name?
L-A-U-R-E-N, and she's named after who? An actress,
Lauren Bacall.
Lauren Bacall.
That is interesting.
It-
We did do a little of that. How about yesterday? I was with a little child with a couple that had a 3-year-old. I think she was 3. Her name was Aurora.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Well, there's a Disney, I believe Sleeping
Oh,
Beauty.
really?
See, that's
I
what's
think
created some
Sleeping
of this
Beauty's
too,
name is
Roger, some of
Aurora.
these, yeah.
So Hollywood and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
Movies.
What are some of the
Athletes.
other
Yeah.
unusual, first, not necessarily unusual, but not as common as Mary and Jane and Joan? Familiar. My mother's name was Frida, but that's a German first name.
You don't hear many Fridas anymore.
No, you.
Well, you know what
sure-
we went
sure
through though
don't.
too is Jen or Jennifer too. There was a lot of there were some Jennies, remember, back in the early
Yeah, I
days.
have a
Jenny.
niece, or
And then
my
we
cousin
lost that.
Jenny. Yeah.
And then Love Story came out, and there was Jennifer Cavalier. I can't think what her last. But anyway, our daughter was named after that Love Story girl's name. Love Story is with the guy that went with the Harvard hockey player. It was back in the 70s.
A Love Story by Eric Siegel, the big,
Yeah.
you know,
Was that Barbara Streisand?
no,
No.
Or who was in that?
Ally McGraw
Ally McGraw.
Okay.
and
and
Ryan
the-
O'Neal.
And
And
her
Ryan
name was
O'Neal.
Jennifer, right? Yeah. And that's we named our first daughter at Jennifer. Yeah.
How about, is Nicole a more contemporary name as well? I don't remember.
I'd have to say, yeah.
I'd say more contemporary.
Yeah.
But now, my youngest granddaughter, her name is Carson.
I have a hard time. Carson, I think, has more of a masculine
That's
sound
right.
to it.
And how do they spell the men's name?
C-A-R-S-O-N.
C-A-R-S-O-N. How does she spell her name?
Up at
Probably
K-A-R-S-Y-N.
Y-N. See, as
Y-N.
soon as they see that Y-N, then I think they
Oh.
know she, because you're going back, I mean, I made that mistake more than once, I'd imply, it appeared to be a man's name, and it was a woman's name, So they've tried to make all right, and I have a great-grandson named Caden. There's a lot of different ways to spell Caden.
Caden,
You
yeah.
can start with a C or you can start with an A. You get K-A-I or C-A-I-D-E-N. Or then if you can go D-Y-N too for the male Caden.
Yeah.
But you're right, Roger. But if when you go to a graduation next time, listen to the names of the girls, and you will not. Every name will. There won't be many Marys or Susies
Not anymore.
or Kates, Catherines or they'll all. And it appears to me too. Listen to the cheerleaders introduced sometimes.
Absolutely.
They by that I mean their parents have. Well, there's some, you got Mercedes now.
Yeah, that's usually a new girl's
Most
name.
popular girls' names today. And
Who we got?
I was wondering what. Oh, I got stop talking. It won't give me. We're done. Go ahead. You got.
Well, yeah, we're talking about, Madison. We said Madison Keys, Sophia. That to me, that sounds like a name that maybe has been resurrected a little bit more today too than I don't remember many Sophias when I was in high school.
Sophia Loren. So
Right,
that's a
exactly.
would have
So now
been the name
Sophia
for
Loren, when she was born, what year was she born?
Oh, Sophia Loren.
In the 40s or late 30s.
Ooh,
Because I was born in 48.
I think she's in the 30s.
That's what I'm getting
Yeah,
at.
she was.
So there were Sophias, then we kind of lost it. Now we got a tennis player by the name of Sophia, right?
Yeah.
And we've got,
Emma, by the way, according to this, and Good Housekeeping, Emma, so Ed Parker's wife
Name
is
is
ahead of
Emma.
her time.
Yeah. That's right.
Amelia, Charlotte, Mia, and Sophia, as you mentioned, and Olivia.
Olivia, a lot of them, one of my grandson's girlfriends she goes by Liv. And I always wonder for a while, how do you name a kid Liv, but it's short for
It's
Olivia.
a nickname, sure.
Makes sense, yeah.
Well, that's my first grade teacher, and I got into it. We were going through the names, and Terry, and she, well, don't you mean Teresa? And I'm like, no.
No.
And I'm 6 years old and been Terry all
Well,
my
I
life.
used to
Terry
get that
Lynn.
too. You'll get even some Michaels that want to be Mike, and then Michaels that want to be Michael. There's my dad is actually was baptized and was born Marcus, but I think he was called so much Mark that his name actually is Mark now, and I don't know if that was done. I don't know if it was done totally. What's the word? Legally changing name. But
It costs big bucks to change your name.
that's what I'm saying. I got to believe when he moved to Peoria, he was called Mark so much. Or maybe he didn't
probably
like
went by-
Marcus,
I'm surprised. One of the top 10 names, according to Good Housekeeping magazine, is Evelyn. Boy, Evelyn,
No, that's
that
an old
goes
name.
back in my day.
That's an old name.
Evelyn Post was.
That's
my
exactly
class-
what I was thinking of. That's the
Yeah.
only Evelyn I know.
That's yeah. But do you know anybody else?
No.
And anybody contemporarily speaking?
If they went with
named
Evelyn after
Evelyn.
Grandma or somebody, she's probably known now as Evie. I've heard Evie.
Ev or Eve.
Eve, yes.
E or Evie.
Ava, I haven't heard Ava Gardner, the brunette that
Yeah.
I missed meeting. I was in Madrid and in the lobby of a hotel with someone I'd met, and there was a big crowd, and I asked everybody,
what's
some
going
people, what's going on? Said Ava Gardner is just now leaving to get into a limo or something. So I tried to get over there, and all I saw was the tail end of the car. And we are at 7:30, so let's bring you up to date with the news that we're following on Breakfast with Roger and Friends. Are you folks ready in the other room? Once again, as usual, at 7:30, our news brought to you by Bob Manning. He's a financial advisor with the Grandview Capital Group at Morgan Stanley. And when you think of investments, think of a really neat guy, Bob Manning. He's available.
Great guy.
You know Bob, don't
I
you?
know
Yeah.
Bob.
Did you know his father?
Yes, I did.
I think his
Very
father
nice.
played baseball at Notre Dame.
Notre Dame played some pro baseball up in Canada.
That's exactly right. I forgot.
That's where he
that.
met his lovely bride.
In Canada, eh?
Hey,
Yeah.
yes, he did.
His phone number 309-671-4653. Here's Terry.
Many protests and demonstrators are angry and even threatening. But that wasn't what happened early yesterday morning in front of Manual High School. A large crowd of men warmly welcomed students to show their support after 2 shootings last week that included the wounding of a 15-year-old who sustained an injury from a bullet. Their response was large and positive, with men attending from all walks of life. It was the idea of Police Chief Eric Echeverria who told the crowd the importance of men as role models. He said children need men not just today, but every day. Among those present for the event was Robert Johnson, president of the Peoria Park District Board of Trustees. He called in to the program yesterday after the event and gave us a live and in-person report.
Very good report.
In other Peoria news, 2 men were taken by car to a local hospital after they were shot Sunday in the area of the 2700 block of West Tree-One Avenue on the city's far south side. Police say the victims, one who's in critical condition, are ages 23 and 31. Officers quickly on the scene captured and arrested 34-year-old Elijah Irby and a 17-year-old. Both faced numerous gun charges. In national news, President Trump, like most Americans, is tired of protesters burning the United States flag. He's signed an executive order directing the Attorney General to prosecute anyone violating laws involving desecration of the country's flag. If found guilty, the person would spend 1 year in jail. Trump is threatening to assign National Guard units to protect the people of Chicago. Out-of-control wildfires in the state of Oregon have officials worried. More than 22,000 acres have been torched. Only 5% of the fires have been contained. Thousands of families have been forced to evacuate. I always think of all the poor animals that have nowhere
Oh,
to
yes,
go.
you're right. Good point.
The city of Pekin is preparing to celebrate its annual Marigold Festival. The event is scheduled from September 3rd to Sunday, September 7th at Mineral Springs Park. One of the highlights is the hunt for the Marigold Medallion and the $1,500 prize. The first clue was released yesterday. Another highlight is the Taste of Pekin, set for Wednesday, September 3rd from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. The big parade is Saturday, beginning at 10 in the morning. And those are the headlines, Roger.
All right, thank you as always, Terry. Now let's have a check of the beautiful weather we're having, brought to you by Advanced Medical Transport of Central Illinois. You know, these folks have been around since 1991. That reminds me, I believe the City Council tonight is going to ink another 5-year contract between the city and AMT. These folks are saving lives. We're talking about paramedics and EMTs. And they're just wonderful people, a great organization in our community, originally founded, by the way, by the 3 hospitals, Proctor, St. Francis, and Methodist. I'll tell you a quick story how it all got started, because in the beginning, we had Ace Ambulance, which was located at the behind the Shell station at the intersection of Knoxville and Hamilton. We're really going back in time for that. And then you had Green Cross. I can't remember the name of the guy that owned Green Cross, and it was on North Jefferson across from the Armory. And Gene O'Connor, who was one of the owners of Ace, came into my office one morning at Methodist, and he said, Roger, I think your dad would be interested in buying Ace Ambulance. We want to get out, me and my partner want to get out of the business. I believe Steve Young worked as at Ace Ambulance,
I
didn't
thought
he?
he was the Green Cross.
He was what?
I thought he was with the Green Cross. But anyway, you're right. He worked at one of the
He
ambulance
was one of
services.
the
He
ambulance
did,
companies.
yes.
And I said, gee, I don't know. Well, back in those days, and really today somewhat, there's competition for getting emergency patients because that's one of the gateways into hospitalization. I thought, you know what, that would give Methodist maybe a leg up on the other two hospitals. So I said, I don't know, I'll call my dad and I'll let you know. So I called Dad and he said, son, I'm township supervisor and many of the clients wind up going to the hospital in the ambulance. It would not look good for me to be referring people to the ambulance company, but tell Mr. O'Connor, thanks, but no thanks. So I thought, well, let's see whether or not Methodist would be interested in buying it. So I went up to the office of the president and CEO, Jim Noble, and I said, hey, would you be interested in buying Ace Ambulance? It'd give us a leg up in the emergency business.
Yeah, because they're going to be going to Methodist.
Exactly.
And rightfully
and
so.
he said, how do you know that? And I said, well, they offered my dad the opportunity to buy it, and he turned it down. He said, okay, thank you. That was the end of communication between me and the president. But my understanding was he called Dick Carver, who was mayor of the city of Peoria, and Dick may have said, well, rather than us taking over it, why don't we make it a community venture? Called Norm LeConte, who was the administrator of Proctor, and said, would you like to join us? We're going to buy Ace Ambulance. And said, sure, and make it a hospital consortium. Ed McGrath was the president, or whatever title it was, at St. Francis, and he wasn't interested. And so we called a news conference for 9:30 a couple of mornings later to announce that the purchase, and they called, they being St. Francis, said, could you hold off on it? And they finally agreed to come in. And that's how the three hospitals got together to found what we have today, which is really an amazing organization, Advanced Medical Transport. And eventually, Andrew Rand became the executive of that. And that's how we had the great ambulance service.
Just for our listeners, don't they ask now where to take you to? Or am I?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
right.
yeah,
In
they
other
ask
words,
why
if
hospital-
somebody
Yeah.
come and pick up my
You
dad.
can almost count on any shooting victims to go to the trauma center at St. Francis.
Right.
We have someone on the line. Good morning. You're on the air. Hello?
Don't hear anybody.
No? Let's do this. Let's push that button and try it again. They were there and they're
Oh,
gone.
they're gone, maybe.
At any rate, I don't believe I've given the weather, have I?
No.
Went into that long dissertation brought to you by, not the dissertation, but the weather brought to you by Advanced Medical Transport. And remember, when seconds count, it's Advanced Medical Transport. Beautiful day today, sunny and pleasant, a high of 75, low tonight 53. Tomorrow sunny and warmer with a high of 80. Thursday sunshine and 82. Friday and Saturday highs around 77, 78 both days. Currently we're up to 52 degrees. And there you have a check of the news and the weather. We'll be right back.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Illinois.
This message presented by the IHSA and the Illinois Athletic Directors Association.
we had someone call, and unfortunately I got caught up in a long monologue about AMT, and apologize for not getting to the call quick enough. You're welcome to call back again, and I'll let Mike do all the talking.
Yeah.
All right, hey, we just had public service announcement from the Illinois High School Association. They're still crying for officials, and you know that's who I'm probably one of those that spends too much time going boo. But I haven't been to a high school basketball game or football game in years and years. It's a tough job, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a very tough job because, you know, there's going to be, I call them in baseball, a lot of bang plays. When you're seeing them on the replays, and some of them are so close, they won't even change it on the replay because
It's too close to
It's too
call.
close. They want a definite to see that the guy was safe. So every time there's a bang, and I don't know if you see it this way, but I've always seen it this way. Doesn't it look like the runner is always out kind of a little bit at first base? I don't know. It does to me. You know, maybe.
Dude, I believe, and I did some umpiring in baseball as a younger person, and when you're working the base, particularly first base,
Yeah, that's
I
tough
think you
calls.
spend. It's a tough call, but I believe not only vision-wise, they listen to the sound,
That's
the
what they
sound of
say
the
to
ball
do.
into the glove,
Glove.
and the sound of the runner's foot on
Yeah,
the base.
I just.
But it's bang, bang.
It's bang bang, and in the rule, how many times you heard play the tie goes to the runner?
I've heard that. Is that
That is
still
not
true?
technically correct.
It is
The
not.
ball has to beat the runner to the bag, right? Or to be out, to be safe. It's really the same thing when you get right down to it. But it you know, by that I mean if the ball doesn't beat the runner there, then he's technically safe. So it could, on a one that's you've seen them on TV, the ball, and then they talk about, is the ball all the way into the glove, or where does the ball have to be too?
No, it has to be in the glove.
In the glove, right? You know,
Not just barely in the glove,
In
but
the glove.
Allegedly.
allegedly. That's
But
what
that is so close to call.
you're talking hundredths of a second now,
Yeah.
right? Of the difference between a ball traveling one more inch or two more inches.
Okay. I'm going to switch subjects a little bit, and we'll get some people excited on both sides of the issue. But what do you feel about the President of the United States declaring the burning of the American flag a violation of...
Well, I agree with him. However, there is somewhere a few years ago they did make it a law. It's okay to burn the flag.
according to the Supreme Court, yes.
Yes.
It's
Wh-
freedom
which
of
is-
expression.
Yeah. Which they should have their butts kicked back then when they made that decision.
Yeah, I
But-
totally agree with
That's
you.
where the courts have got a lot of things mixed up.
They've gotten a lot of things wrong. Yes, but that's another
Yeah,
story. But
however, you know, in looking at it, what's illegal? Hate speech. In my opinion, burning the American flag is hate speech,
yeah.
and they should be prosecuted for it.
I have no problem with it.
And it's similar. And when they say freedom of speech, you can't go into a theater and yell fire. Well, why can't you? It's freedom of speech. Well, but is there a fire? If there is
Well,
a
what
fire,
if you go in and start yelling bad language?
yeah.
Hey, you MFs, or whatever they want to say.
And there's
Well,
certain words
unfortunately,
that you
get
can't
kicked
say.
out, right?
There's
Yeah.
certain words you cannot say.
That's right. what about-
But you should be able to say those words. We don't want to, and I could give you examples, and I don't want to. People know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's hate speech. Well, why is not burning the American flag an expression of hatred toward this country and to the people who live there, like the three of us?
that's right. If you're that unhappy being here, then go away.
I want to go back to my
Leave.
favorite one. I'm 77 years old. I'm riding in a Traverse. I'm going with the speed limit. I'm a pretty cautious driver. If I don't have my seatbelt on, I'm going to get a $100 fine.
Oh, don't get me started on that one.
On the other hand, somebody just flies by me on a motorcycle,
No helmet.
No helmet on the driver, and the 16-year-old girl in the back seat, which could have been my granddaughter, is no helmet on. And they're fine. So what I'm getting at is we do legislate.
example.
We
That's
do
a good
legislate
example,
certain things,
Yeah.
and they're law.
We are
You
somewhat
break that law.
hypocritical.
Right. I mean, it's just, to me, it's desecration of the flag. And, you know, I'm more the other type, hey, if you don't like what's going on here, it's just like if somebody didn't like the job they're doing. They can't go and shoot the CEO, can they? We're not supposed to. Poor CEO of one company walking into a business meeting, boom, you're done, you know?
You know, I think all of us are find it repulsive, repugnant to watch demonstrations, particularly in California, and they burn the American flag while they're waving their country's flag. I wonder why someone hasn't, on the other side, burned that flag and see what would happen.
Oh, but we can't do that.
It would be interesting.
Yes, it would be interesting.
I'll never forget, remember the Rick Monday deal?
Yes, I
watching
do.
the
Oh,
team.
that
I believe
was-
it was with the Cubs. It must have been probably. 'cause
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
watching.
the Dodgers
Yeah, and there was somebody draped the flag over the center field wall.
was going to set it on
Fire
fire.
or something
right?
anyway. And
He
he
ran and
actually
grabbed
climbed
it.
up there, you know, where they go after a fly ball, they put the foot one down and then reach up. He reached up and grabbed it, and I'll tell you, the place just roared that, you know, thanked him for doing that, yeah.
It will be interesting to see. Already, of course, there are people who are pushing back about wanting to sign an executive order. It'll probably be challenged by the Civil Liberties Union and the ACLU and other organizations. And, you know, the usual cry is among people of my persuasion is that if you don't like it here, return to your home country. This guy that certain political pundits have really made their poster boy, Abrego Garcia, can't speak a word of English. And he's in this country. Okay, that's wonderful, but he was stopped in Kentucky or Tennessee, trafficking. He was a driver of a van of illegals in the country, and he's still driving around free with people say, free him. And then the guy that drove the semi-truck and did a U-turn on the interstate highway that led to the deaths of three people. And people now, the petition's up to 3 million people say, spare him, be easy on him. And not a word about the names of the 3 victims and what they left behind, because this guy missed 4 out of 10 questions on road signs and doesn't speak a word of English and flunked some other things. And interestingly, nobody in law enforcement has identified, and they need to be identified, who the clown was that gave this guy a truck driving license.
I was just going to say there, there should have been a stoppage before he got the license.
Exactly.
If it's regarding to signs. Because they say, I mean, I assume it's still pretty true, you're not supposed to miss hardly any of those signs.
No, you're right.
I mean, in the test.
No, I think there's, I just took mine. I think there's 33 or 35 questions, and you've got to pass at least 28.
Right.
And then as I was going through, so as I hit that mark, then it cut off. I said, okay, you've passed. You know, I didn't have to take.
My wife, I was
You
going
didn't have to do the other 5.
No,
Right.
Once you're going to pass, my wife ran into the same thing. She had hers done up at, like I said, up at Lakin after she came off her cataract surgery and all that. And she said the same thing, that she was 100% up to that point, and there's only like 4 or 5 questions left, so you're going to pass. So you're done.
Yep, it just.
And part of it is to keep it moving too.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I feel better about talking with that, and we'll be right back. So.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
And we'll tell you another beautiful day today, sunny and pleasant, a high of 75. And we're currently at 52 degrees. Terry?
Well, this is my PSA for the day. Coming up Saturday, September 27th, is going to be at the Fond du Lac Park District. It's called Out of the Darkness Greater Peoria Walk. It is sponsored by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. You can go to their website to register, and not going to cost you anything, but you need to register. It's going to be, once again, Saturday, September 27th, step off at 10 o'clock a.m. at the Fond du Lac Park District. And it's one of the guys that has helped Roger get on the air.
Yeah.
On the,
Right, Chris
should say.
Buckley.
Yes, Chris
very
Buckley
involved in it.
it has a personal stake in this, and he's the one that brought this to our attention.
Yeah.
So, as they say, save the date and mark your calendar.
Exactly right. I wanted to mention that, have you mentioned, as a matter of fact, how things are going with your friend who lost her home and earlier in the year lost her husband and virtually lost everything.
She did. I saw her Sunday at church, and I asked how the fundraiser went, the benefit on Friday night, and they said they had 80 pounds of hamburger that they made up in the tacos, and it was gone.
Are you kidding me?
That made 80 pounds, and then they sold through. So they don't have the final tally yet, but I heard a very good turnout, which made me happy because I couldn't be there. So she, as of right now, she's renting a car, and she is slowly getting some pieces of furniture.
How's the, in cases like that, you always wonder, how is the insurance company handling things? Because you hear a lot of horror stories, like the people in California who were lost their, in some cases, multi-million-dollar homes and so forth, and the governor of California running around politicizing everything. And in the meantime, they can't get permits to start rebuilding. And sometimes that's due to insurance, sometimes political activities and so forth. How's the insurance company handling it?
Have not asked her about that.
I guess that's a little too personal, but nonetheless, she either is happy with him or unhappy, or maybe in between. That's a challenge.
It might come up a little bit later. I know one of the sad things is she had 2 sets of hearing aids. One was a little bit better, and then she had a little bit lower quality, I guess. Well,
do you know the names of them? So
no, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Find out. That's your assignment.
But she had saved the good ones for charging at home, and then she had the other ones on.
Oh.
Yes, and the good ones were lost in the fire.
What's the law of
Murphy's Law?
Yeah. If things go wrong,
it all goes wrong.
Hey, switching to well, we wish her well and continued prayers as she recovers from the devastation of the loss of her home. Have you been, you're very involved in the community, in particular in education. Mike, have you been inside the new dome out at the Peoria Stadium?
I rode by it yesterday.
Well, that doesn't qualify.
No, but as I was leaving the middle school game over there with the Reservoir, and it took everything in my part because nobody else was around.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this might be a good time to go take a look inside. See, it's not open. A lot of people thought when they saw the bubble up that it's open. No, that's just putting the bubble up. Now they got to do all the indirect lighting and all that other stuff, and they've got to finish a permanent structure that you enter. If you've ever been to Louisville,
you have a special door.
You have to have places for restroom. They'll have maybe even a concession stand area. There's a building that's right in front of the dome that you will enter in.
Okay.
And I don't think that's totally done either. But it took everything in my power, because I looked around, there wasn't any cars around. Then I thought, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go walk through an open door, and all of a sudden the buzzer's going to go off.
The dome's going to deflate. Oh,
I'm more concerned about the authorities pulling up and say, what are you doing in here? You know, I just wanted to take a look what it's going to be. It's going to be very nice. I can tell you that right now. It's a lot bigger than any of us had envisioned it to be.
Well, it's exciting.
It's 90 feet tall to start out with. That's 9 stories. I mean, it kind of dwarfs.
I didn't realize it. I know when you drive by on War Drive, it's over by Lake Street.
Oh, yeah.
But you have no problem seeing it from
Oh, no,
War
it
Drive.
kind of dwarfs the stadium. I mean, it's bigger than the covered side of the stadium. I guarantee it's quite a. I kind of wonder if it'd be a little distraction for the team that's actually going north. You know, in football, will that? You know, the
Interesting.
Yeah, I maybe I'm just dreaming there, but it's 400 feet long. No,
It's a good size.
that right there is
I'm going to
100.
have to drive by just
That's
so I can
100
say I
feet
saw it.
longer than the football field.
Yeah, it's impressive. No question
Yeah.
about that.
Because the football field is only 300 feet, 100 yards.
You know what they need to do, and I'm sure they're planning on it, have a big open house.
Sure.
Let people see,
See it,
what
they've
the
done.
dome is.
Oh,
and
I give our outgoing superintendent at the end of the year, great credit for. A lot of the high schools, even in downstate here, they'll have field houses where you can do all your spring sports when the weather's inclement in February and March. By that I mean they'll have indoor.
Or September or October.
Right. No, you're right. The football teams could actually train in there, when it's 99 degrees outside and 110 field temperature and all that. It's got a lot of potential to enhance the students of Peoria Public Schools.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, the school district did some really neat things. They finally fixed the
The
stadium up.
stadium is beautiful.
And long overdue. Why it took so long for them to renovate and do
you tripping over
what they call preventive maintenance.
Yeah.
That was totally forgotten. How's the grandstand? Underneath it was kind of dark and dreary.
They've got
Have
everything
they
painted.
updated?
The paint has helped.
Okay.
The restrooms are decent. I mean, I give them a lot of credit. And don't forget, it's still, as far as I know, the only covered grandstand for football in the state.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Which is-
Didn't they used to have horse races out to what is
think that's
now the Peoria Stadium? Wasn't that a horse track?
I know Richwoods Field did.
That
the
one
Endress
as well.
Park out there.
I think if you look up historically the Peoria Stadium grounds,
Yeah.
that it was
think it
a
was too.
horse racing track.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And they were great. Shoot, I remember when Woodruff had the invitational track and relays
Oh.
event at the. And have they? One of the questions that people were asking in the renovation, were they making the track up to standards, the whole
As
track?
far as I
means?
know, they did. You're talking about 8 lanes and things like that. Yeah, I think they did. In fact, there was some talk even at one
Well,
time.
where's Terry Knapp when we need him?
Well, Terry's-
Usually the phone rings and it's Terry, and he's giving us the answers
He's
to our questions.
He's,
Well, we're going to take a break for the news, weather, and sports. Hour number 3, you're having breakfast with Roger and Friends on WAZU, FM 90.7 in Peoria, Illinois. Terry Chamberlain, Mike Olson, yours truly, Roger Monroe. And we say hi to all the good folks watching us on YouTube. Thanks for being a part of our program. And you're always welcome to dial up the phone, and we'll promise not to hang up on you at 309-966-4044. Good to see everybody. And a pleasant good morning, everybody. It is a gorgeous morning in central Illinois. It is Tuesday, the 26th of August. We begin with a check of the weather brought to you by Realtor Kathy Reynolds. We learned early that hard work produces results, and that's why Realtor Kathy Reynolds is successful. She works hard to get results for her clients seeking to sell and or buy their next home. Learn more from Kathy Reynolds. She's with Brilliant Real Estate, and her phone number 309-696-2162. Sunny and pleasant today. Just a beautiful August day. High of 75, the overnight low 53. Tomorrow it'll be sunny and warmer, up to 80. Come Thursday, sunshine, 82. Friday and Saturday, both days sunny, beautiful days, and highs of 77, 78 degrees. Right now, currently 53 degrees. With our lead story, here's Terry.
Too often, protests and demonstrators are angry and even threatening. That wasn't what happened early yesterday morning in front of Manual High School. A large crowd of men warmly welcomed students to show their support after 2 shootings last week that included the wounding of a 15-year-old who sustained an injury from a bullet.
And the response, as we've been talking about this morning, amazingly large and positive. Men attending from all walks of life in the community. It was the idea of Police Chief Eric Echeverria. He told the crowd the importance of men being present as role models. He said children need men not just for the day, but every day. Among those present for the event was Robert Johnson, president of the Peoria Park District Board of Trustees. He appeared on our program by phone yesterday, and he lauded attendees for their support.
I'm Robert Johnson. I just left Manual High School.
Tell us what went on.
How you doing? There was a large crowd there.
Great.
City managers, chief of police, school board members, city officials, and a lot of kids getting off the buses. It was on both sides of the river. It was a large gathering.
Good.
All walks of life was here. Well, they was getting off the bus. They were smiling. Some of them had their little heads down. They was all tickled to death. They were shaking hands with everybody on both lines of the sidewalk. It was a very happy occasion. Veterans were there. Military people were there. Also, police, firemen, they were there. Parents, a lot of men. They were saying they wanted to do it more often, and they want to come back after school is out and continue it. But it was a great response. I was really pleased to see.
Great.
Because the Park District is definitely interested in making sure that everybody is, well behaved and everything as well.
Thank you, Robert Johnson. In other Peoria news, 2 men were taken by car to a local hospital after they were gunned down Sunday in the area of the 2700 block of West Treewind Avenue on the city's far south side. Police say the victims, one who is in critical condition, are ages 23 and 31. Officers quickly on the scene captured and arrested 34-year-old Elijah Irby and a 17-year-old. Both face numerous gun charges.
In national news, President Trump, like many Americans, tired of protesters burning the flag of our great country, he signed an executive order directing the Attorney General to prosecute anyone violating laws involving desecration of our flag. If found guilty, the person would spend a year behind bars.
Trump is threatening to assign National Guard units to protect the people of Chicago. That has Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker in panic mode. Trump is praising the work of police and military units in Washington, D.C. Crime is down in the capital city, especially fatal shootings. Federal officials say residents of the city have been quietly thanking them for bringing in the military, while politicians criticize the action on television.
Elsewhere in the country, out-of-control wildfires in the state of Oregon have officials worried. More than 22,000 acres have been torched. Only 5% of the fires have been contained. Thousands of families have been forced to evacuate.
The city of Pekin is preparing to celebrate its annual Marigold Festival. The event is scheduled from Wednesday, September 3rd to Sunday, September 7th at Mineral Springs Park. One of the highlights is the hunt for the Marigold Medallion and the $1,500 prize. The first clue was released yesterday. Another highlight is the Taste of Pekin, set for Wednesday, September 3rd from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. The big parade is Saturday, beginning at 10 in the morning.
At the Peoria School District Board meeting last night, members approved hiring a search firm to select a replacement for the retiring superintendent, Dr. Sharon Karat, by a vote of 4-3. It was a close vote. The board selected Hart International Educational Services out of Texas. The issue became controversial because of an alleged connection with the firm and board member Martha Ross. Ross did not recuse herself, and some say her vote was the deciding vote, 4-3. And also, the president of the school board, Greg Wilson, is calling for the purchase of metal detectors for the schools. We're going to talk a little bit about that coming up in this next hour of our program. In the meantime, let's get news from WCBU, brought to you by the people at Peoria Pet Crematory. You know, losing a pet affects just about everyone. That's why Peoria Pet folks are available 24/7 to help you through the grieving process. And they offer several choices for care and remembrance. Peoria Pet Crematory, the phone number 309-713-1898.
From the WCBU newsroom, I'm June Delahunty. An expert on technology and the courts says AI holds great promise for improving the quality of legal work and closing the access to justice gap. Daniel Lina Jr. from Northwestern University acknowledged problems too, like a 4th District Appellate Court case in which a lawyer used AI to write a brief filled with non-existent cases.
Of course, we need to be measuring these hallucinations and the negatives, but the other side of the ledger is understanding the positive benefits that these tools are bringing across this whole ecosystem for lawyers, judges, and especially self-represented litigants.
Lina says AI could help guide these self-represented litigants who don't have the constitutional right to an attorney during civil proceedings. An original printing of the Emancipation Proclamation is coming to the Peoria Riverfront Museum next year as part of an exhibit featuring major historical documents. Abraham Lincoln's 1863 Executive Order freeing slaves joins copies of the Declaration of Independence and Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech in the America 250 exhibition. The collection, titled The Promise of Liberty, is guest curated by noted historian and filmmaker Ken Burns. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says the state won't be able to make up for the Trump administration's cuts to the university research grants. At a recent bill signing in Champaign, Pritzker said Illinois will do everything it can to help preserve higher education in the state, but the state can only do so much.
I want to be honest, there is no chance that the state of Illinois can fill the holes that the Trump administration has created for higher education.
A split Supreme Court decided last week that the National Institute of Health can, for now, cancel almost 2,000 research grants related to heart disease, Alzheimer's, and other health topics. Congresswoman and U.S. Senate candidate Robin Kelly says Democrats need to do more to push back against the Republican policy agenda. Kelly tells the 21st show that, if elected, she would support eliminating the filibuster that requires at least 60 votes to pass most policy bills in the Senate. She also expressed support for congressional redistricting in Democratic states in response to new maps creating more Republican-leaning districts in Texas.
I believe in fair maps, but we got to fight fire with fire.
I'm June Delahunty.
All right, let's get into sports.
Hey, we're
And why not? Mike Olson's
Thank you
here.
very
Mike,
much.
what do you have?
Well, I'm
What do you
going to
have?
start with high school soccer. If you mention high school soccer in Central Illinois, you have to understand, or you probably understand, that over the past 25 years, it's been pretty much Notre Dame, Peoria Notre Dame. I mean, they've got second in the state, girls or boys, and they've won some state championships. They normally, I think they've won 20 straight conference championships. But anyway, so they go and play a good team, non-conference, Quincy Notre Dame. Quincy's always been a pretty good soccer school, and they beat Quincy Notre Dame 2-0 yesterday. And so
Quincy used to have pretty good basketball.
And basketball.
Remember who the famous coach was down there?
Yeah, I'll get it for you here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I don't remember his
was
name either.
Was it Leggett?
No.
Cheryl Hanks was that?
That's it.
Is that Cheryl?
Cheryl Hanks.
But,
Nice, go on.
But,
Let's hear it for
but
you.
anyway, congratulations to the coach and over there, and the men's coach, and I'm fighting for his name right now. I guess it's just my mind is not as good as it used to be. But good win over a good program. and that's pretty much what they have to do, because some of the schools, even the conference, don't, you need to play a very good schedule if you're going to compete with the top from up north and south
I would
eventually.
imagine, yeah.
And they do that. They'll make trips even out of state to do it. Major League Baseball yesterday, the White Sox shut out the Royals 7-0, and the Cardinals beat the Pirates 7-6. The Cubs were idle. They had the day off Monday after sweeping the Angels over this past weekend in 3 games. The Cubs will play tonight in San Francisco at 8:45. In other action, the Royals will again be at the White Sox at 6:40, and the Cardinals will face Pittsburgh again at 6:45. In middle school baseball yesterday, Reservoir was just nipped by Peoria Christian, and in another game played down at the old Woodruff High School Diamond, it was, I got to come up with it now, Von Steuben 5 and Treewin 2. So congratulations to those programs that are doing pretty well. U.S. Open tennis started yesterday, I believe, was Monday. In men's draw, it was Francis Tiafoe, won in straight sets over a player from Japan by the name of Nishidoka. On the women's side, Madison Keys lost her first round match in 3 sets. Venus Williams returned to the court at age 45. That kind of, I can remember when those 2 girls broke on the scene. I think Venus is the older one, I believe.
I think so too.
I could be wrong on that. What's the other one's name?
Serena.
Serena. Venus and Serena. Anyway, Venus is now 45. And she couldn't have been over 22 or 23 when she started.
Yeah. Why do you think she decided to play? She really looked worn out, to tell you the truth.
Well, I mean, it's
she played great in the second set. She won the second set.
And then of course the third set was she lost the first and third, but I guess give her kudos for giving it a go.
Yeah,
I think she's a good draw.
Yeah, she
was.
For both. She had the crowd behind her.
Yeah, she had the crowd behind her. That's what I'm getting. And you know, it's like when they name NCAA teams too for the tournament for basketball or the college football playoff. Crowd's important, guys. How many people travel with your team? Don't ever kid yourself. It's important. So she made an attempt and she competed, and give her credit for that.
Yeah.
Today, American women Coco Gauff, Sophia Kenin, and Daniel Collins will play in the U.S. Open. Tommy Paul, the number 14 seed, will play this evening on the men's side, and number 1 men's player in the world right now, Jannik Sinner, will also play today at the U.S. Open. At Dozer Park this week, the 6-game series will go on with the quote-unquote Peoria Chiefs hosting the South Bend Cubs. It'll be Ryan Sandberg week, and the big part of the week is going to be Sunday, Pete Van Auken Day, in honor of Pete's 100th heavenly birthday.
Hey, going back to Ryan, did you ever meet him? You were down at the ballpark a lot of
Yeah,
time.
quite a bit.
Did you ever have a chance to shake his hand?
I think I talked to him one time, yes.
Okay.
That he was very friendly to the fans. He would go. The home team always has a good workout before, and then they take a shower and get in their game uniform. And he would come out at least an hour before the game, and he would sign autographs for all the fans in the stands. I always felt bad because, he wanted to be the manager of the Cubs. So what did they tell him? Well, you've never really managed, so you got to go get some
Experience, yeah.
Well, he did. He left his home. I think his second wife was down here with him at the time, and they enjoyed their stay here. And I know Pete well enough. Pete took well care of him. I know that without even having.
We didn't have a chance to interview him, but we interviewed his wife by phone, and she was very, very, pleasant, cordial. She was involved with some charity, and I don't even remember what it was.
She
but
was.
She was a delight.
No, she was, and
how old was he when he died?
He was in
70?
his 60s.
Was he in his 60s?
Oh, yeah,
I want to say 65. Does that sound about
in that
right?
area, but
Too young.
But he was battling cancer, and I think he battled that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But lost them way too young. Yep. But Sunday, like we said, will be Pete Van Auken Day as part of this week, and Pete unfortunately left us in 2013, but his legacy continues as the Chiefs have kept pro baseball here over the last 42 years. And that's sports. And then we said we thought it was a 6:30 game on Sunday night,
6:35, yeah.
which is probably right, because I was thinking Sunday they usually played afternoon games, but that was during the summer and during the spring when they were having schools in session.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway, that's
no school
sports.
on Monday. Next
Yeah.
Monday is Labor Day.
Yeah. You get out on the last home game,
I plan to go
August
on
31st,
Sunday
Donner, Pete Van Auken.
Pete Van Auken,
You- yeah.
because he saved the baseball in Peoria.
He sure did.
Like-
Mr. Baseball.
Bruce Sowers saved hockey in Peoria.
You got it.
2 times, Bruce did.
There you have sports with Mike Olson.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know if you're following the logo change and some things that are going on at Cracker Barrel, but shades of Bud Light. Some brilliant marketer convinced the company to change their logo, and as a result, there's been pushback. Some people say, "I'm never going to eat there again," and they've lost $143 million in value as a result of the decision, just like Bud Light. And they did a couple of things. The logo looks stupid. It's a kid in 8th grade with an interest in marketing or graphic design could have done the same things, just one color with letters, and that's it. And they've done away with, although they now are saying that the road signs that you see from the highway will remain the same, with the Cracker Barrel and the guy next to the Cracker Barrel.
Uncle Herschel, I think is his name, or
Yeah.
something, with his rocking, and they said, "Oh, the rocking chairs are still going to be there on the porch,"
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff.
And they issued a statement, I don't know if you saw it on television, basically, we could use the acronym BS.
Yes.
That's what it boiled down. We're still serving the same quality food at good prices, and we're still wonderful. God love us, or words of
Well,
that
and they're
effect.
revamping the restaurant. I think they're making it as they're getting rid of the clutter.
Well, I was going to say, how do they get away with violations of the fire code? Have you been to? I'm sure you have over in Morton.
Oh, yes, many times.
And it's a dump. I mean, a quality dump, in that if somebody yelled fire, people would get trampled.
You better get out quick, because there's a lot of wood.
Well, yeah, if you're killing time waiting to get seated, that's the plan.
Wonderful, yeah.
You wander around the shop and I like, isn't this neat? And I know when I used to travel back and forth from Wisconsin, I'd go in and get the audio books. You kind of rent them.
Yeah,
So-
you can rent them? I didn't know that.
well, you used to be able to,
No,
but
you have to
remember,
buy
we're
'em.
talking 40 years ago.
Okay,
so.
yes, we are. Yeah. But I agree, it's a pretty good place to eat. The prices are fairly reasonable, and the service is very good. But they also revamped the design of that peg game with certain terminology and so forth, so people didn't feel bad.
See,
And-
there we go, the participation trophies again. It's
yeah,
like,
same thing. Everybody wins. Nobody's a loser.
Yep.
On this,
We don't want
this
anybody
case.
to leave mad.
Well, with that in mind, the city of Pekin has announced they have a new logo.
Oh, jeez.
And
Oh, really?
Yes. And let me scroll it up. We can't show it on YouTube, but this is the old one, which I think is neat.
yeah,
And here's the new one.
Like the old one better.
ick.
I think if you took a vote, it would be the old. They've got the Illinois River.
The marigold, which is
and
what
the
they're famous
marigold,
for.
And the eye is the green vine for the marigold flower. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
The other one to me looks like it could be a beer can.
Yes, it does.
That's
Or a can of
I-
baked beans.
I never thought
The
about
new
that.
one, yeah. Is that new pecan beer they're having or what? No, the other one is. Plus, I like the bigger pecan. I mean, come on, that's what
Well,
we're
and
pushing.
it's a cheerful color, and it's bright and cheerful,
other
and
one looks
catches your attention. The
dark
other one,
and-
is, exactly.
And they have a tagline for the new logo: Pekin, Illinois, your place to grow. And I guess, is that the marigold?
That'd be the flower there.
You know, if they should have added a little more color to the flower. You know, again, we apologize to our radio audience that say
We're able to see it. See, my other deal on that is, it's like when the school district chain wanted to be known, rather than as they are, Peoria School District 150, that was on all the buses, on everything. Well, then we had to redo all the buses, which is a lot. If you go by the bus barn, a lot of
That's a
buses,
lot of paint.
and put Peoria Public Schools. That didn't.
What was the purpose of getting rid of 150? Every school has a number.
That
goes
I
with
think
the
it's good
name.
to know what the number is in case you
Yeah.
have to deal with the state on anything. Yeah, my feeling was, and I think I heard it was, we're changing the image a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just like when we changed, it's not Lindbergh anymore. It's, and then you can say why that would change.
Well,
but it's what is it? It's Liberty Leadership School.
Yeah, but there's
And
a
it's
good
not-
reason why it's not Lindbergh.
And we've
I-
had, like you say, Reservoir's been Reservoir, and then it was Washington, now it's back to Reservoir. We haven't taught anybody the ABCs.
But
Or-
we have
or-
to, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's the
it's just-
subject
it's
I'm
just-
going to stay away, because I would probably say the wrong things.
Yeah.
Not the wrong things, but
Well, what I'm just saying is it's
better
just,
left unsaid.
yeah, some of these things have little or no, I'll say it too. We're hiring a search firm, which I'm not big on, any search firm, because it's a business, okay? And you pay that business to do this. So we didn't see any price tag that this cost, did we?
No.
I didn't see it in the
No.
reporting, but I guarantee you it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, you're
And
right.
then it works both ways, guys. If I want a job, if I want this job, I have to pay the search firm to push me
Yeah.
or anybody else that applies. And then they get a certain cut. You have to pay the search firm for that cut.
You know,
That's just me. I mean,
I wish there was more. I've never seen a public meeting, and not that it probably hasn't happened, but people from the audience criticize the company that they were talking about hiring. Now, who in the audience has any idea or knowledge, unless they were paid or persuaded, hey, we need you to come and criticize? Well, I don't know anything about it. Well, don't worry about it. Just
Hart International Services out of Houston,
Educational-
Texas.
Educational services, yeah. So they had people at the school board meeting criticizing the company they hired. I've never seen that before. I've never seen as many subjects that Terry Knapp talked about. I don't know if he ever criticized the selection of a search firm, other than to say, why don't you folks interview candidates, which would be difficult.
And they do. They usually the
Well,
search
when
firm.
you get down to one or two
or
three,
three, right?
then
they
they-
bring them in, right? You don't
and-
bring in 20.
yeah.
You know, but you know, our superintendent should know better than anybody the lay of the land. Is there anybody around here that's qualified? We took her. She came from Danville or Springfield, I
Yeah,
think.
but originally she worked not as superintendent. She was a part of District 150
Ed Roosevelt did.
for out where
I think
for how many years?
Yeah,
She was already familiar with Peoria.
Right.
Exactly. But wouldn't you talk to the regional superintendents from the state of Illinois? That's where I would start.
There's a lot of places you could
Who's
go.
registered among your personnel that has the qualifications?
And has been in this type of situation.
Right.
This is not Glenwood Chatham. It is not, Dunlap, even as far as the district goes. I'm putting a value judge on good or bad, but you have to deal with, we have a very bright young man by the name of Elliott up at Starr County that I heard early on. That's one of the reasons he left Richwoods, that, maybe down the road, he could come back as, now that he's got 3 or 4
some
years,
experience
5 years of
as a
experience.
superintendent, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just throwing that
Well, who
name
knows?
out.
But however, that doesn't preclude him from
No.
making an application through the search firm. Here's my resume. I would like to be considered.
And if he's considered one of the finalists, you could have got that same finalist without going through the search firm.
Yeah. However, let me play the devil's advocate.
All right, no, go
By
ahead.
hiring a search firm, you allegedly and reportedly and hopefully are excluding any inside influencer
Yeah.
for one person or another person. They come to town not knowing anything about anything other than evaluating the credentials of the applicants.
Right.
Gee, we'll do that for hiring purposes, but we won't do it for redistricting our voting things?
Oh, now you're being silly.
Oh, I know, now I'm being a heretic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, this whole business about redistricting has become a joke, and unfortunately, when the people and the people being the Democrats from Texas got up and left the state in almost an infantile reaction, frankly speaking. And where do they come? To a state that's well known for political partisanship
Yes.
in redrawing districts. When you see what the 17th district looks like, or the 18th district.
All the national
And-
news media,
Yeah,
those show pictures.
they showed
They
the
go to
map.
Illinois, then
Yeah.
here's our map.
Yeah.
Look at that one in the middle. And yeah, no kidding.
And then in the state of Massachusetts, just like Illinois, the chances of, even though apparently, according to statistics, 40% of the state of Illinois is Republican, and not a single Republican has held a state elected position in years and years. I don't matter how you redistrict, that will never change. But in the state of Massachusetts, same thing. They said, well, based on what they're doing in Texas, we're going to redraw. Well, you don't have to redraw. You already control all the offices. So the redistricting argument is going to hang around for eternity, I guess, until somebody comes up with a magic solution. Now, as you know, former Congressman Ray LaHood talked about
Saw him on TV.
yes, about the MAP organization. He and Mr. Daley, is it Mike Daley, who is a Democrat, have gotten together, and that's a good beginning, a Republican and a Democrat saying, let's see if we can come up with a better solution for drawing boundary lines for districts. So that's coming up.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess we settled that issue to the delight of absolutely no one. But we'll be back after we pause for this message for our veterans.
Hi, I'm Mike Richmond of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs with this message for veterans. Did you serve in the military? Veterans should take note of a new life insurance program called VA Life. The program provides guaranteed acceptance of whole life insurance coverage to veterans 80 and under, with any level of service-connected disability. Some veterans 81 and older may also be eligible. Guaranteed acceptance is a whole life policy that doesn't require a medical exam or ask health questions. It also doesn't have a limited 2-year window to sign up. Whole life insurance provides coverage for the life of the policyholder, provided that premiums are always paid. Premium rates are locked in for the life of the policy. For more information, go to benefits.va.gov/insurance. I'm Mike Richmond.
Well, good morning, everybody. Let's wrap things up news-wise with the final newscast of the morning, and it's brought to you by our friends at Spoon River Home Health. You know, more people are turning to home health care for loved ones, and more people are choosing Spoon River. That's because their staff is professional and personal, and they have been for more than 30 years. Spoon River Home Health, you can reach them at 309-245-0723. Here's Terry.
Many protests and demonstrators are angry and even threatening. That wasn't what happened early yesterday morning in front of Manual High School. A large crowd of men warmly welcomed students to show their support after 2 shootings last week that included the wounding of a 15-year-old who sustained an injury from a bullet. The response was large and positive, with men attending from all walks of life. It was the idea of Police Chief Eric Echeverria who told the crowd the importance of men as role models. He said children need men not just today, but every day. Among those present for the event was Robert Johnson, president of the Peoria Park District Board of Trustees. He appeared on a program calling in yesterday after the event, and he lauded the attendees for their support. Thank you, Robert Johnson. In other Peoria news, 2 men were taken by car to a local hospital after they were shot Sunday in the area of the 2700 block of West Treewind Avenue on the city's far south side. Police say the victims, one who's in critical condition, are ages 23 and 31. Officers quickly on the scene captured and arrested 34-year-old Elijah Irby and a 17-year-old. Both faced numerous gun charges. In national news, President Trump, like most Americans, is tired of protesters burning the United States flag. He has signed an executive order directing the Attorney General to prosecute anyone violating laws involving desecration of the country's flag. If found guilty, the person would spend 1 year in jail. Trump is threatening to assign National Guard units to protect the people of Chicago, like what has happened in Washington, D.C. Out-of-control wildfires in the state of Oregon have officials worried. More than 22,000 acres have been torched. Only 5% of the fires have been contained. Thousands of families have been forced to evacuate. The city of Pekin is preparing to celebrate its annual Marigold Festival. The event is scheduled from Wednesday, September 3rd to Sunday, September 7th at Mineral Springs Park. One of the highlights is the hunt for the Marigold Medallion and the $1,500 prize. The first clue was released yesterday. Another highlight is the Taste of Pekin, which is set for Wednesday, September 3rd from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. The big parade is Saturday, beginning at 10 in the morning. And those are the headlines, Roger.
All right, thank you kindly, Terry. And now a check of the weather brought to you by Mr. Weather, Kyle Barnold of Fortner Insurance. And Kyle, obviously, he's eager about everything, but eager to serve you with what he calls free reviews of your insurance plans, and that covers auto, homeowners, health, and life. To make sure you're receiving the right insurance, that's the purpose of what he does, and he's very good at it. You can reach Kyle at 309-682-0519. He's very good at bringing us good weather, too. Sunny and pleasant today, a high of 75. Low tonight, 53. Tomorrow, sunny and warmer. We're up to 80 degrees. Thursday, sunshine, a high of 82. And Friday and Saturday, beautiful days, sunny, high 77, 78 degrees thereabouts. And right now, we're at 58 degrees, and there you have a check of the news and the weather. You know, yesterday, Mike, we were talking about, it was kind of dramatic because we were talking about guns in the schools, and John Meisinger had indicated that he had a student in the class who came to school, and he was sitting in the classroom with a kid who actually had a gun, and when he was writing on the blackboard, this kid would take his gun out of his pocket and point it at different kids in the classroom. You know, and as he told the story, he indicated that a girl came up to him and said, "I need to go to the restroom." And he said that was kind of unusual, but does happen on occasion.
It does.
And so he excused her from the room, and then she went out and closed the door, and apparently there was a window on the door, and she was motioning for John to come out to see her in the hallway. So he excused himself, went out in the hallway, closed the door, and the student said, "So-and-so," we'll say Willie, Willie's got a gun, and he's pointing at kids when you're at the blackboard. And he said, "Well, you go down to the principal's office and tell them to come up, and we'll take care of the matter." And then he went back in the classroom and then asked Willie to come up. and said,
This was John?
yeah, John Meisner.
When he was a teacher at Manual.
Yeah, so he said it was like his
Manual,
first.
this, not when he was a principal.
No, when he was
No.
a teacher.
Yeah.
And so Willie came up and he said, do you have something that
You're not supposed to
you
have?"
And the kid whipped out the gun and said
Oh.
that I've been threatened. And but that doesn't mean you take it out of your pocket and wave it around in the classroom.
Oh.
And eventually they took the gun away from him. But did you ever have any experience similar to that in your teachings?
No, never in the classroom like that. No, we had times when you'd have a lockdown where you had to keep kids in class because there was a search of lockers, and I'm not even privy to what they found all the time, but I'm sure they found some things they didn't want to find. And but boy, to deal with something like that, it's just scary for me just to hear it.
And like you said, it was 1975.
Yeah,
That's 50 years
50
ago.
years.
Yeah, we were thinking about now.
No.
They did have, you may recall,
No.
I forget the year, they had a shooting at Woodruff High School.
Right, they
where
did.
a kid on the
They did.
stairwell
They did.
fired at someone.
I would say that was in the 80s if I had to just guess
That
a
was
date.
a long time, that was more than 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think I was at Central at the time, so it was probably like in the late 80s, early 90s, yeah.
It's a good example, as Barney Fife would say, you've got to nip it. You've got to nip it in the bud, for
Yeah,
that matter.
and that's,
Well, one of the things that we have been doing lately, ladies and gentlemen, to the delight of many of our listeners, the feedback has been very positive, is playing some songs and see how quickly you can identify the name of the song and the artist. You know a little about music.
Not much.
Not much.
not except I was supposed to sit in the back row and just move my lips. I remember that much of it. But
Well, however, you're a mover and a shaker. I know it's a little premature to talk about it, but we hope that this year the Christmas Sing will be again an annual event at the Peoria Riverfront
hope so.
Museum.
I was looking at some dates the other day.
You were.
Yeah, we. I know last year we had it on a Wednesday. I think it worked out very good, and that would be,
Do you think a weekday is better than a weekend?
Yes.
I do,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Because once
You have so many that time of the year parties,
Thanksgiving,
events,
right? Once
and
you hit
shopping.
Thanksgiving,
Yep.
then
The
you
Katie
got
Garden
private family get-togethers for people that are in the area, and then you also have, of course, give me the Wednesday before. Christmas is on like on a Thursday.
is Thursday,
Yeah, so we don't want to go that. What's the third Wednesday before that?
the 17th.
17th. See, to me, that's a good time. Yeah, you don't want to be too close to Christmas either, because you have people out of town and
Right, so the 17th would be ideal. That's
17th. We're talking about Wednesday the 17th, and we're just throwing out a date. We've got to, of course, clear that with the upper management.
yes.
Yeah, but again, though you're like me, you can't carry a song unless it's in a
Oh,
briefcase.
I'll give it a go. In fact, last year it was Richard Johnson and I that were up in the front row, and I don't know if
Who was?
Richard, the man that was just the president of the park board.
That's Robert Johnson.
I say Richard all the
Yeah,
time.
Yeah,
I
Robert
wasn't
Johnson.
sure.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
but
They both begin with R, don't they?
yeah.
close, but no cigar.
No cigar, right?
But
Robert, sorry, Robert.
you've been very active to help get that thing rolling.
Along with you, yeah.
And with the help of the leadership of Ray LaHood and the collaboration of John Morris, CEO and president
It's
of
all-
Riverfront Museum.
It takes
We've
an
got-
army.
We've got a nice location. The sad part is that, we used to have huge turnout
Mm-hmm.
in inclement weather, snow flying in the air.
That
cold
made it better.
temperatures, And it just was a flavor in the air.
Well,
You know.
I think one of the other things, Roger, there is so much with even kids' activities during the week now. That's probably one of the biggest changes that I've
Yeah.
seen. I mean, my mom wouldn't let me go anywhere when I was in grade school during the school. I remember I cried one night when I couldn't, I was like 7th or 8th grade, when the varsity basketball team in the city had a game like on Tuesday night, and I wanted to go, and she said, no, it's a school night, you got to do your homework, I said, well, it's all done, and I lost the argument, which is fine. But what I'm getting at now, I mean, I can only use like my youngest granddaughter. I mean, she's in competitive dance Monday, Tuesday. She helps little kids on Wednesday, Thursday. Now she's going to do a little cheerleading
Yep,
in
I
high
think
school.
kids have a lot more activities
lot
than
more
we did.
And just like the girls, for example. A generation, 2 generations ago, we didn't have girls soccer or girls basketball. That didn't. I say 2 generations back to the started in the 70s with the
Title IX.
And I'm glad it
right?
did, but I'm just saying so that means parents have to get the kids going by the time they're in 4th or grade school.
Crazy.
Parochial soccer starts in kindergarten.
I wanted to give a little flair of what's coming.
Yeah.
Well, I told my wife, you got to remember, yesterday it's only 4 months. Christmas only 4 months away.
Oh.
25th. September, October, November, December. I mean, we're there.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, check the stores out in another week after Labor Day.
Well, I know we've got Halloween stuff.
Well, you'll have Christmas stuff coming out here pretty soon.
Well, you got to get Thanksgiving.
I know we do, but just go to Lowe's or somewhere, and you'll see Christmas stuff.
Trees already. Yeah.
You're right.
They have their pre-season sale.
Yeah. In the meantime, we have to be very careful about taking care of our pets.
Today's Pet Tip is brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. You can be your dog's doctor in a pinch. Some common drugs in your medicine cabinet can also ease Fido's minor ailments. Use common sense and read the caution labels. Minor temporary pain and soreness can be treated with aspirin. 80 milligrams or 1 baby aspirin for 50 to 100 pounds of animal weight would be safe. Aspirin is generally safe for dogs, but not all pain relievers. Do not give your pet Tylenol or acetaminophen. Allergies can be treated with Benadryl. 1 milligram per pound of animal weight 2 times daily should be a safe dose. Tummy upsets can be treated with Pepto-Bismol. You would give 1 teaspoon per 20 pounds of animal weight every 4 to 6 hours, up to 24 hours. Constipation is best treated with canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie mix, just the canned pumpkin. Mix it with their dry food and they will think it's a treat. Approximately 2 tablespoons for 20 pounds of body weight. These few tips may help you avoid unnecessary trips to the vet and make your pet more comfortable through short-term ailments. As always, if what we try at home doesn't work or our pet seems to worsen, we should see our veterinarian as soon as possible. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSBR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's Pet Tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Thank you, Louis Linder. We just heard from our dear friend, a regular listener and just a lover, Mardell Buckland. And of course, Rox was one of the early accompaniments for the Christmas thing.
And her suggestion was, and I think I told her it's a very good one, and we're just in the very preliminary here, and
Yes, I'll say.
getting excited.
Yeah.
But she said that Rox was, when they met, they always checked the Bradley
Schedule.
men's schedule, and of course women's schedule
For
too.
basketball.
And then the Rivermen's schedule to try to find a night that
Won't be in conflict.
so that you're trying to maximize your crowd is what you're doing, and we need that a little bit. But I'll tell you the
You're never going to have a perfect day.
No, never will. But the nice thing we have, and hopefully we can get it again through Mr. Morris and Mr. LaHood, is to have the museum where you can park, even if it's an inclement.
Underground.
Underground, you pull right
Which
in.
is pretty neat.
And you can walk within 15 feet
Yeah,
almost.
grab the elevator and
grab the
go upstairs,
elevator,
and
go
you're
up,
there.
And you're there. And they've got a big tree set up in there, and then they got
And
the monstrous tree out front.
Outside, yeah.
You got-
It's a
you-
beautiful
you got the
setting
big
for a
piano
Christmas
set
thing.
up. You
And
know,
I sure
it's-
miss Jim Maloof,
And we miss Jim Maloof.
song master
Yeah.
extraordinaire.
And
for
Lee
the band.
Wenger handled it the last number of years. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, as I had mentioned earlier, and I know you already disqualified yourself, but I think you might be too premature, Mike. We've been playing songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and seeing how quick our panel can pick up on it. And yes, our Jeopardy champion, Terry Chamberlain's on top of everything. So we're going to do that, and you're welcome to join in with us.
Yeah.
Not much activity this morning in the chat room.
Before we do that, is that worthwhile during the day in history, or is it a really hard one?
Really hard one.
Oh, okay. Now let's move on
But
to music.
Let's do music. I think people.
Do you know anything about cars?
Just I know I had to repair mine because my battery was no good, and it needed to be flushed.
On this day, August 26,
expensive.
1959, a special car had its debut.
The
Edsel?
Corvette?
No.
Ford Edsel.
No. Excuse me, it was a foreign car.
Oh. Maserati.
No,
Lamborghini?
no.
Porsche.
Its newest car was produced by, I'll help you out, the British Motor Corporation, BMC.
Mercedes-Benz. Nope.
The story of this car began in July 1956 during an international crisis. Egypt's President Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal, which prompted massive fuel shortages and gasoline rationing throughout Europe. Consequently, Germany's small fuel-efficient cars cornered the market after the crisis. The head of BMC, Sir Leonard Lord, what a name that is. Leonard Lord, get in here.
Mr. Lord.
Yeah. Saw the incident as an opportunity to produce a British alternative, and the company began development of the
Volkswagen.
car. In a veil of secrecy in 1957.
The Mini Cooper?
The Mini is correct. I don't know about the Cooper part, but the Mark I Mini. So you do get credit for it.
Yep.
So you're glad I started this?
Oh, yeah.
That's Terry.
All right.
I heard that's why you pay her the big money.
That's exactly
Yeah, that's why I
right.
get the
She
big
gets
bucks.
top money. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And she deserves it.
All right.
Okay.
All right, here's our first musical selection.
Used to bow our heads then, wonder why. Now you're gone, I guess I'll carry
Red?
on.
No.
Make the best of what you left to me.
The Bee Gees?
Left to me.
What do you say?
Left to me. I need you. Like the flower needs the rain, you know I need you. Guess I'll start it all again, you know I need you. Like the winter needs the spring, you know I need you. I need you.
All right, we need help.
America, I need you.
Kathy.
Oh,
very
America.
good.
Okay.
Good job.
We were struggling. We thought, well, we need another participant.
Your lifeline.
You by America. This one will not be as easy. Maybe not.
Dance with me,
Don't stutter. Don't get excited. We're not giving away any prizes.
dance with me.
No.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash. That's you got the artist and the name of the song.
And there's so much time to make up everywhere you turn. Time we have wasted on the way.
So much time.
They just sang the title. Wasted on the way.
Oh, waste on the. Okay.
I never knew that.
Okay. All right. I don't think you'll get this one either. At least I'm a little familiar with a couple of them. Two people.
Hall and Oates.
What was that?
Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates is correct, and the name of the song. One of the two words, and one of the words is from a movie that had Clint Eastwood and what was the gal that kind of went bonkers? Female actress. Something sister.
Shirley MacLaine.
Well, what? Shirley MacLaine, yeah. What was the name of the movie?
Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
Okay. What's the name of the song?
Sister somebody?
Sarah Smile.
Oh, Sarah Smile.
Sarah Smile.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Roger.
Yeah. I did my best on this one.
You tried.
Here's a duet. Tell me the singers and the title of the song, if you can.
It may be way too early in the game for you or me to know how far we'll go. But when I look at you from any point of view, I see. Whoa, you're looking like love to me.
So that's the
Looks
title.
like love.
To me.
Yeah, very good. And the singers.
Thanks, Ken.
The guy had a funny first name starting with the letter P, and his last name starts with the letter B.
Peebo Bryson.
Oh.
Peebo Bryson and
Good
Peebo
job.
Bryson.
that's,
Who's the female, Ken?
It's not Roberta Flack, is it?
yes.
Hey,
Very good.
good combination there, Terry and Kathy.
Yeah. All right, let's let's help you. I'm gonna skip over one song
Good.
and get this one because I know you'll get this one. Again, a duet. I think Celine Dion sang this later on.
Saw a psychic in LA. Was just the other day, and she told me what I knew was true. She told me that I
Dionne Warwick?
What was that?
Dionne Warwick?
Never getting over you.
No. Dionne Warwick is one of the singers. So
Okay, we got half.
the other guy you'll never get. Jeffrey. Yeah, you got that blank look. Osborne. But what's the name of the song? I know you know the song.
I'll never get over you.
Kathy, did you name it?
Never getting over you.
Not the title of it. 2 words. One is the most popular word.
Love.
Love is correct. Very good, Mike. Love what?
Love me.
Love You?
Love Power.
Oh, sure. Everybody knows that one.
That's good.
I don't know the song.
I tell you one thing, every song you played was pretty good though, wasn't it? I mean, just to listen.
All right, I got to give you an easy one. You really struggled. This is one of my favorite songs, and I play it frequently to end the show. I won't do it today, but you got to come up with this one very early in the game.
7 in the a.m. It's gonna take more than waking to rise.
Who's the artist?
I wake up with this need again to feel the love of the woman beside.
Kenny Rogers?
Kenny Rogers is correct.
Yes.
Good job.
Just one of those
And what's the title of the song, Kathy? And Terry and Mike?
and love her before I leave and listen to the rain fall on the
I wake up to you.
Listen to the rain.
Yes.
thunder sounds like horses' hooves.
Well, you know what? You're right. But the title on this CD says Morning Desire. So did they change it? Or did whoever put this together?
Could have made a mistake too.
No. There's Morning Desire.
Yes, Morning Desire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Because
the other
the other
song
one
is
has more
Listen to the Rain. You're
Yeah.
right. So,
Like I'm gonna be late again.
boy, a lot of similarities.
Yeah, there is.
I've never heard that one.
Well, now you have. All right, here's an I've never understood this guy's popularity, but
Tiny Tim.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
let's see if you get this one. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm so glad that I met
That's
you,
your favorite.
Who?
and I'm so proud
No, I'm just singing along with him.
Oh.
down the street. And I know it's crazy to worry,
This guy's last name is an animal.
but I get this feeling that I'm losing you. I get the
Sweet Emotion.
Bear?
Deep suspicion, isn't it? Or deep suspicion.
Suspicions, yes. By
His last name Bear?
no, smaller,
Deer?
smaller.
I can't have
Rabbit. Eddie Rabbit.
Yeah.
Very good. All right.
Took me a long time to get a belt. You got Kathy and Terry.
Mike Olson is the winner with Kathy Rose.
Michael's
and
got
Terry.
one point. He was not shut out today. Oh, I'm going to go home.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, Hollywood.
Have another
Bring me.
donut.
When do I get my audition in Hollywood?
You'll get another cupcake.
No, easy now, easy. I might have somebody listening.
Well, you had a suspicion we were on the right track.
Yeah.
For sure. Kathy, thanks for participating.
Oh, she's.
Thanks for letting me. God bless you.
Thanks, Kathy.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
So send a prize through the mail. Check will be arriving soon, for that matter. Well, that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen, with Eddie Rabbit. We'll let him hop out along with the rest of us. Thanks for being a part of the program, everybody. Take advantage of this beautiful weather. Get outside, walk around, jump around, do whatever, and enjoy God's wonderful blessings of beautiful weather. Sunny and pleasant today, a high of 75, and we're up to 60 degrees as we speak. Remember, God loves you, and so do we, and we'll be back tomorrow with more of the same. In the meantime, have a wonderful day, everyone.
When I'm with you, I feel so satisfied. The way you touch me when you lay by my side, and that look you get in your eyes when you're young. It makes me hate myself for what I'm thinking of. I get these